claim that it's all attributable to Biden is completely insane. But if you're gonna wait, why do you attribute all of the inflation to Biden, but you don't attribute? Do you attribute any of the job recovery to Biden? If there was a conspiracy to manipulate the job numbers, why on earth would they release the revisions at all? Why wouldn't they at least wait till after the election to release the revisions? Like what?
Because it was leaked, maybe?
No, it was not leaked. It was put out on its regular schedule. Its regular schedule that it's maintained since 1979, okay? The methodology for job revisions has not changed since 1979.
So you just by mistake make up a million jobs?
What is the BLS track?
Who's the BLS? Why are you introducing a new...
So you're alleging a conspiracy. You don't know anyone who works at the BLS. You don't know what the BLS is. You don't know what the BLS stands for. You're alleging this major conspiracy that all the job numbers are faked. And since 2016, the Federal Reserve has been using fake job numbers.
It's that you lost your Democratic Party. You don't have a collusion.
Tulsi Gabbard is not the Democratic Party.
She was a populist of the Democratic Party. People looked at her like a Bernie Sanders. Yes.
Is Liz Cheney the Republican Party?
Populist. Oh, let's talk about tariffs for a second.
Yeah, let's talk about tariffs. Who pays the tariff?
Are you already decimated?
But the consumers now need to pay a higher price than they would have.
No. The producer doesn't necessarily benefit. It's just another. It's just an addition.
If the producer doesn't benefit, then why are you doing the tariff?
I think tariffs reduce wages. They increase costs. They reduce growth, they reduce productivity, right? They literally don't help in any dimension that you mentioned. They literally don't help.
Localist, I ripped them apart.
You didn't let every question you've been asked, and you didn't let anyone finish.
Localist.
If you want to see more content like this, I would really appreciate you liking and subscribing. It really helps with the algorithm. And make sure to check out the Discord and other social links in the description.
Nice to hear from you, man. I haven't heard from you in a while. We haven't sat down and talked since before the election.
Yeah. You wanted to...
Can we start with how are you feeling?
You know, I'm just saying, you know, that Eastman memo looking pretty good right now. Maybe the vice president can't overturn the election. You know, maybe if Kamala Harris can just pull a Mike Pence. That's what I'm thinking. But I don't know. I obviously don't like it. I've come to accept it by now.
You're not genuinely putting your hopes on that at all. Are you?
No, I don't think she has the legal authority to do it. And I also...
somebody made the argument. They said that they're going... I mean, I guess they made the argument that there's a felony conviction and there's a possibility there's some kind of an amendment. I think 49.
Oh, it's Section 3. Yeah, so technically what could theoretically happen, now this will never actually happen. The way the Supreme Court ruled, like, remember Colorado tried to take Trump off the ballot for the January 6th stuff. The Supreme Court basically said the Section 3 to 14th Amendment is self-executing for states' offices, but states can't kick off people for federal elections based on it. There has to actually be a, like, conviction for insurrection. Technically, like, there could be you could convict Trump of insurrection and then a state could disqualify him legally, but that's obviously not gonna happen. The Supreme Court would never uphold a conviction of insurrection for Donald Trump. So
yeah, I think there's a problem with the definition, or there's a problem with basically the definition doesn't align with the implementation of what happened. I think so. Yeah. Basically, the Supreme Court possibly will never allow that to happen. So can we drop this that he ever incited this insurrection, or is that still?
Well, I almost never argue he incited insurrection. I just argue that
like the number one argument Destiny uses, right?
That's great. As much as I could call it Destiny clone, I am not, in fact, Destiny. I don't.
So
I rarely argue January 6th was an insurrection.
You don't like it.
I just don't have I haven't done enough reading on like the technical definitions of insurrection and stuff to make a strong argument for it. So that's why I typically don't argue it. But I have done enough reading to say like what I think he tried to do was wrong, and should just disqualify him in a moral sense from forever becoming president. Yeah.
Okay. I guess okay, that's great. It's great to see that there is a section, if even if it is small, even if it's just you, Nonfon, that actually believes, that is sane enough to believe that I mean, I don't know. Do you believe he actually incited an insurrection? Is that something you believe that happened, or?
I mean, again, I'm going to match my
I was going to say
conviction.
there's a section of you that doesn't believe he incited the insurrection, but I forgot to ask.
Well, I guess like I'm going to match my conviction with my level of knowledge. So in a legal sense, like I don't have an opinion on it. I'm basically neutral. But like in a moral sense, like with my basic understanding of what an insurrection is, I mean, yeah, I would say basically, yeah, he incited an insurrection. So
He did or no?
he did.
Oh, he did. Okay, so maybe maybe that fraction or that segment of your Democratic Party that believes that it's not is very small, like I mentioned. So you're not part of it either. But I guess moving on from that, I guess since January 6th is a lost cause, we can't. I mean, it's proven that it's not very popular. We tried it to win the election, it didn't work. Moving on, what do you believe is going to be the future of the Democratic Party looking like, since we see such a big shift in the actual establishment and the populists of the Democratic Party? For example, you don't have your usual populists. I guess you guys still have Bernie Sanders, but you lost Tulsi Gabbard.
Well,
you lost RFK
I mean,
Jr., which is a royal.
I think the lesson is probably going to be more populist, right? I think what Trump has shown is that populism apparently plays really well. So I think there is going to be a shift towards more populism after this, I would imagine.
Okay, but so you actually believe the Democratic Party is going to be accepting of this? Because it doesn't seem like the shift is happening. It seems like there's what's happened is there's a lot of victim blaming of the voters, poor voters. There's a lot of calls of racism, misogyny, and the whereabouts of all of those isms. And that's what I've been hearing, from big parts of the Democratic Party. What's your thoughts on that?
I mean, we're probably looking into.
Do you
things,
actually believe
basically.
they are going to commit to this shift? Because it doesn't seem like there's any.
What do you mean? Like, I think Democrats are absolutely going to start playing more into like populist rhetoric. That seems to be one of the main takeaways. Is that, yeah, I think.
But I feel like you guys knew
the
about
main
this.
takeaways.
That's what Bernie Sanders ran on, and that's why he was so popular. You guys could have ran Bernie Sanders again. There's something else that the Democratic Party refuses
do you think
to
the
do.
median voter is very aligned with Bernie Sanders? I agree Bernie Sanders played into populism pretty well, but do you think the median voter really is that aligned with him?
Yeah. I remember he was going to win the election.
Thanks,
over
Danabo.
Trump,
I appreciate it.
But what happened was it was stolen against him, and Joe Biden was going to lose versus Trump. And still, the Democratic Party did not
I don't think
care.
I don't think it was stolen for.
They believed that they had captured certain votes, and this is the problem with the Democratic Party that I don't believe, and I don't see any change in it, is their ego. They have a huge ego. They're trying to call shots like everyone is going to be accepting of it, and forcefully so. I don't know why they believe everyone's going to listen to them. And I guess they intimidate them and shame and guilt them enough on TV to do so. But it's not working anymore. So this Democratic Party is not showing a reduction of their egoism. Sunny on The View is not calming down her rhetoric.
I mean, maybe people on The View aren't calming down their rhetoric, but I think even MSNBC said that they're going to be interviewing Trump soon, right?
Down his rhetoric.
I mean, okay, Destiny was never one to have calm rhetoric. I don't know. I don't know what that point is. I agree to some extent. There are some people victim blaming.
I don't see a shift that's happening. I don't think they care. I think the Democratic Party is just going to run on
the majority of Democrats I've seen have been calling for Democrats to play into populism more. There seems to be like two main takeaways. One is that populism sells really well.
Give me an example.
And two,
what that look like? Pete Buttigieg? Is that what you're talking about? Populism? What is populism going to look like?
Pete Buttigieg. When I say play into populism, I essentially mean using more populist rhetoric, using more like anti-establishment rhetoric.
They
so
tried
like on
to
the
use Obama,
like
they tried to use everything that you guys had. Like you guys did not pull any punches. You used your celebrities. Isn't that populism? I guess I don't know.
It
give me an
can
example
be.
of what is that going to look like, more populism. You
An
agree
example
that
would be
everyone
like
agrees?
Democrats kind of did this with like the YIMBYism, for example. Like I think there are kind of like two ways that you could make like a rhetoric around around the building more homes, right? You could say like, oh, housing supply is constrained and we need to build and we need to start building more homes. Or you could say something like the government is impeding on your land rights and preventing preventing people from building what they want. I think what we need to do in order to make housing prices come down is repeal these, get rid of this red tape so that you can build more homes. Like there are ways to have basically the same positions, but play into populism more. Yeah.
Okay, but do you agree with me that we can see that a little bit of what Kamala was doing was play on that populism?
I think a little bit of what she was doing was that, but
saying something. Go ahead. Sorry, go ahead. But I was going to say something. One of our policies, for example, something silly as the no tips. She mentioned it once and never mentioned it again, but she actually mentioned it. So like, isn't that something that she actually?
I kind of agree with you. I think she did try to, like, she proposed that like anti-price gouging bill. Like that's a kind of populist thing because voters don't understand why some price controls can be bad. But and the unrealized gains tax as well. But then she kind of walked those things back because she got a lot of criticism for them.
Yeah, she did. I don't know.
She kind of
I don't know who yelled at her in the back room.
Yeah, she kind of stopped talking about them, but like I actually don't know. Even if I don't fully agree with the unrealized gains tax. I don't necessarily think that's a good tax. But like, would Democrats have done a better job mobilizing their voters if Kamala kept up the rhetoric about like taxing the rich? Maybe. I think there's a good chance that she would have done that. Yeah.
We can agree the unrealized tax is the only worse thing than the tariffs of Trump.
No, absolutely not. You could do an unrealized tax and have very
100%.
No, 100%. No.
No. In popularity, no. You can't agree.
Well, tariffs tariffs work really well in populism because people don't understand them. One, a lot of people think that China pays them. Two, like people have an anti-foreign bias and a zero-sum bias. So when I say people have a zero-sum bias, they think that like in a market transaction, one person is winning and one person is losing. When in reality, it's not the case. Like if I take a job, right, like I can benefit from having that job and my boss can benefit from having my labor. So there's things can be mutually beneficial. Like oftentimes trade is mutually beneficial, but people don't understand that.
Can I be honest with you?
Sure.
I'll tell you my actual take. This is kind of deep. Maybe I'm completely wrong here. I'll tell you my take on the tariffs. I think the tariffs are something, and you need to, man, that Minecraft video's got me going. I think the thing about the tariffs, I don't know if you just sit there staring at this thing.
It's from my chat, okay? You know, Gen Zers, they need the ADHD stimulation, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but the thing about tariffs is, for me, and this is kind of weird, I don't think you've ever heard about this before. It seems to me that the American people are so desensitized to losing, like saying, oh, it's going to be more expensive to do something after Ukraine. It seems that the American people completely groveled and didn't actually budge, and there was barely any rights. If any rights happened, were to do more war in Ukraine, to do more supply of weaponry. So it seems like there isn't a segment in the American people that is going to sit there and say, no, we don't want tariffs. It's going to be more expensive. Oh, no. So it seems like the American people, to me, they've been desensitized from all these sanctions, and Biden telling them you're going to have to take the brunt of this war for the Ukrainian people in terms of your economy. And I think that's what happened to the American people. When you tell them tariffs are going to hurt your economy, they don't care. They just think American exceptionalism. They don't care about it costing money.
I think voters have a lot of biases that make them underestimate the impact of tariffs. And two, I don't know if I would agree that they're desensitized. Like, I think literally the single biggest individual reason why Kamala lost was inflation, was the fact that real disposable income is below trend. I think that's the single biggest reason.
Well, the Fed threw her under the bus. The Fed kept saying that the economy is is unredeemable and it's in the worst shape it's
Wait,
ever
what do you
been.
mean
Like,
they kept the Fed kept saying the economy was unredeemable?
The head of the Fed multiple times
Jerome
said we're
Powell?
stealing
Yeah.
from the future. You know what I
He
mean?
said that we're stealing from the
Jerome
future.
Powell. Yeah, he said we're stealing from the future. The American.
I don't know if he.
Kids of America or something like that. The kids of the future's economy.
Oh, you're just talking about.
And he said
Yeah,
we're
Jerome
in a
Powell, I think,
very-
just said he doesn't like the government deficit. I think that's what you're quoting. Like, Jerome Powell probably doesn't like the government deficit, but like,
Yeah,
that's a little extreme way to frame it.
He's been raising red alarms for his.
Okay, Jerome Powell just cut rates like 2 times in a row, so I don't know if that's raising alarms.
No, because no, wait. He wouldn't do that if the economy's so great. That's the thing.
Well, he's doing it. Did you?
Are
Do you
not
watch the
understanding why
press
he cut-
conferences?
Are you misunderstanding why?
Wait,
he
no,
cut the
you don't
rate?
watch the press. If
That's
you
because
actually
he's
watch the
so
press conference.
terrified.
No. If the Fed has 2 jobs to manage inflation and unemployment. Inflation has been coming down, so therefore he feels more comfortable cutting rates. And 2, he thinks the labor market is in a good place right now, and he wants to keep it that way. That is, if you actually watch the press conference, is what he says. He says this is 2017 to 2018 labor market, and we want to keep it that way. We don't want the labor market to get any worse, so we're gonna. They think it's in a good place, and that's why they're cutting rates, to keep it there, not because the economy's doing horrible. If they thought it was doing horrible, they would put rates at like 0, but rates are at like 4%. You don't have a 4% interest rate if the economy's doing horrible.
He was mentioning that unemployment is at an all-time low, and this is the worst thing that can happen to the economy, and it's unsustainable.
Well, it's not the way.
I'm gonna
the
get
reason.
to the clip here in a
Well, I he probably did say that when inflation was at its peak, because we did have a really tight labor market, and he wanted to weaken that labor market a little bit, so he raised interest rates. That's part of it. I'm not denying that's part of it. But since then, since the labor market has weakened to a point where he thinks it's at a good place, he's more comfortable cutting rates. But I've watched a lot of the press conferences. I know Jerome Powell said, like, we have or the job market is like super hot right now.
On 60 Minutes, he said it, and then he reiterated it somewhere else. But yeah, basically, he's been raising the alarm on this the debt.
Well, I understand Jerome Powell doesn't like the deficit.
Yeah, the economy is not in good shape. And recently, he's been raising bigger alarms. But to me, it's weird.
Just because we have a deficit doesn't mean the economy is not in good shape. And just because we're cutting interest rates doesn't mean the economy is not in good shape. That's not how that works.
Well, what do you attribute the inflation then from?
Some of it was supply side shocks. Some of it was demand side shocks. How much of it was either one is up for a debate.
What does this even mean when you say supply? I mean, this is kind of overgeneralizing.
I mean,
can you give me an example?
Yeah, sure. The war in Ukraine led to an increase in energy prices, and that's a negative supply side shock.
You mean the sanctions? Do you see how people are desensitized of the tariff thing?
Well, I don't think that desensitizes. I don't know if voters even understand that. I don't think that desensitizes them. I just think I was just giving you an example of a negative supply side shock. That's all I was doing. And also COVID, factories in China also were literally shut, because China would literally shut down like entire factories and like quarantine the workers in the factories for like 2 weeks if someone there had COVID. A lot of that led to negative supply side shocks there as well.
Yeah, man, but that's not enough. That's not enough. We know that Trump had a little bit of COVID as well, and his inflation wasn't that high and never went up that high, even at the end of his presidency.
Well, he also had 15% unemployment, right?
Sorry, what?
He had 15% unemployment, right, during that COVID period?
For a very brief time, because the economy had to shut down, but the recovery was also historical. Do you agree?
I agree, but I think the big reason for that, I think the big reason for the full job recovery was the American Rescue Plan that happened under Biden. That probably wouldn't have happened under Trump. Also, a big reason Trump didn't have inflation was because
the evidence shows that happened under Trump. I can show you the evidence that the economy had already recovered before 2021.
I don't think it had already fully recovered. I think it definitely started to recover.
Okay. It hadn't fully recovered, but there was an immense recovery. It's already had done 80 to 90% of the recovery, but there was some more, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not convinced some of that other stuff would have happened without the American Rescue Plan. But also, again, wait, real quick, a big reason why, I can send you this graph, a big reason why there wasn't much inflation under Trump was because a lot of the stimulus people just saved. People just used to pay down their debt because they weren't spending very much money in 2020 because of the fucking lockdowns. And then once the economy started reopening, they started spending that money that they had built up from the COVID stimulus. So like we have this graph of excess savings that was really high. It reached a peak in 2021, in August 2021, and then slowly has started dipping back down as people have been burning through their pandemic savings. Yeah. So that's a big reason why there was a lot of inflation under Biden, but not Trump. Hello? I can't hear
my
you
bad.
if you're...
But I forgot that I'm pushed to talk. But listen. Okay, sure. We can talk about this for hours. Now, I don't think I have to necessarily agree with you that that's the only reason.
Well, I don't think it's the only reason, but I think it's a big reason.
Well, I believe that underneath Trump, even during the COVID, the inflation wasn't that high. So there was something else that happened. And I believe it was that recovery plan that you were alluding to. It was an immense amount of spending, and it kind of screwed everything. And since then, we've never recovered. And this happened after Trump. This never happened before Trump. So the idea that it was the...
Well, it has happened. We've had a worse inflation before.
It's not true. You don't have to lose control of the whole economy and all of the spending and all of the printing because of the pandemic. You don't have to do that. But what happened was they used the crisis to create that calamity, to create kind of like how the Pentagon used the crisis to disappear all their documents of their how much money.
I don't know if that's
and where their money went.
But also, we have seen inflation even worse than this before in the 1980s and 1970s. So it's not really true. We've seen things like this before. I think we can just look at, there's like a graph I can show you actually. There was fuck, I'm gonna have to, I think it's in the, I think I have it in graphs I like. Yeah. So, we can look at a bunch of countries and see how big was their COVID stimulus as a percent of GDP. So it's a percent of the total economy, right? God fucking damn it. Okay. Wall Street Journal, inflation. Fuck.
I remember what it was. It was the CARES Act. The CARES Act. It was $5 trillion.
The CARES Act was under Trump, right? The American Rescue Plan was the one.
It was being pushed by Nancy Pelosi. It was under Biden.
Well, it's fine, but Trump could have vetoed it, right? Like, here we go.
I remember
Here we have a chart. We have countries with greater stimulus didn't see higher inflation. So the U.S. did a shit ton of COVID stimulus, 22% of GDP. We did a lot. We printed a lot of money. We deficit spend like crazy.
Shit. Are you kidding me?
What?
In how many years? In 1 year?
And I think 3 years. But 22% of GDP, right? A big stimulus.
Okay.
You can see other countries didn't do as big a stimulus. And they had similar inflation rates. In fact, a lot of them are dealing with more persistent inflation than we are even. We had higher inflation than them, but we also brought it down sooner than they did. It's not a bad emote, Isaac. Fuck you. That's an awesome emote. However, we have seen a lot more growth than other countries. So... I think our unemployment is lower than most other countries, other than Europe has some weird examples of really low unemployment because of things like Czechia has really low unemployment because it's an export-based economy. But so that would seem to be evidence to the effect of a lot of this inflation was probably supply side because we saw this inflation globally, despite some countries not passing very much stimulus, and countries with bigger stimulus did not see higher inflation.
Okay, but you have to agree with me. That's an immense amount of spending, and it could be attributable to the inflation. That could be a big indicator of why the inflation.
It could be, but like a big thing is like is excess capacity, right? So okay, there's a few different ways I could explain this. There's something called well, first I'll talk about just excess capacity. So if we give people a ton of money, but supply is able to keep up with it, then there might not be much inflation. So during COVID, the economy shut down. A lot of factories were stagnant, right, and not doing anything. So if we give people a ton of money and they spend that money, well, factories can just immediately start production again. They don't reach like a supply ceiling, and therefore they don't have to like increase prices, and there can not be much inflation. So if we have low capacity utilization is the technical term, then giving people a ton of money probably won't have much effect because the capacity can just be utilized. Secondly, there's probably good reasons to try to keep consumer demand stable generally. It avoids what's called like the paradox of thrift, where basically consumers will reduce their spending, and that reduces other people's income because spending is just somebody else's income, and then they reduce their spending as well, which reduces more people's income, which means more layoffs, which means less spending, and it creates a very bad spiral that you can solve by stabilizing effective demand and just giving people some money.
So can you like summarize the conclusion?
The conclusion is fiscal stimulus during a recession is oftentimes a good thing because you stabilize effective demand, and it might not necessarily be inflationary because excess capacity can be used to meet the added demand.
Okay, that's fine. So how come the economy never recovered from that? What happened? Like, do you know about that?
What do you mean never recovered from that? I don't know what you mean by never recovered.
Why was the inflation underneath Trump gone up to 9%, and then only in the last year did it start to go down?
I mean, I just told a lot of it was supply side things, and then some of it was probably demand side shocks as well. I just don't think a huge portion of it was demand side shocks. Also, I just ran through this whole thing.
This is attributable directly to the decisions that they've made. They could have not have done that. They could have not done that.
I mean, some spending. Of it. I mean, yeah, but then I think we still probably would have seen 7% inflation rather than 9% inflation. There would have still been quite a bit of inflation. Two, we might not have seen the strong labor market we got out of this. We might not have seen.
Well, like you're assuming that because it doesn't
employment.
Seem to me that's what happened. Because underneath Trump, he had the same COVID. Underneath Trump, he's given a couple of stimulus checks. He actually had to write his name on them. So the idea that the stimulus checks were the reason that the inflation happened, no, it didn't happen. The inflation didn't go up to 9% underneath
because
Trump. It didn't even go to 7%.
Capacity.
It didn't even go
excess capacity
above
was being used.
I don't think it went above 3% underneath Trump at the last year.
I already gave you the reasons for this. People weren't even spending the money. They used the pandemic savings to like pay down debt, and then they had more money to spend in 2021 and 2022. That's evidenced by the graph I sent you of excess savings. And there was more excess capacity under Trump than under Biden. So the stimulus checks just went up to eating up excess capacity versus under Biden, the stimulus checks did not have as much excess capacity to work with. So it might have put more upward pressure on like wages because unemployment was already low. That absolutely makes sense.
Because then we would see an incredible increase in inflation from the first stimulus check, but we never saw that. We only saw a very small increase. And then we should see the similar increase from the second stimulus check, but instead
I forget the exact permissions, but it's like savings that are
so there's something else that happened
above someone's projected disposable income or something.
Checks. We cannot attribute them to spending upon the American people.
Yeah, household saving rate is above trend.
People don't know about. I don't know what happened. There's something extra because this is ridiculous. No, this is not adding up at all. You agree, right?
No, not at all. Do you think that aggregate demand shocks tend to move inflation and unemployment in opposite directions?
Aggregate demand shocks, like
there's more demand. Stimulus checks would be an example of an aggregate demand shock. You're positively increasing demand.
What?
Move inflation and unemployment in opposite directions. If people demand more, they're going to spend more, right? They have more money. They're going to spend more. What that's going to do is that's going to, increase business activity. A lot of businesses are going to hire more people. However, if there's not, what that does, it also does other things. Increasing demand increases inflation because you're eating up the excess capacity the economy had.
Yeah, but that's healthy inflation. The inflation that we saw was something else. It's something that's the problem is whatever you're mentioning, we should have seen that underneath Trump, but we don't see it underneath
Well,
Trump.
I already explained to you a few times why we didn't see it. One, Americans weren't spending the money. I told you, so the two big factors were, one, Americans didn't spend all the money they got. They paid down debt and were saving it and then spent it later on. And two, what's the second one? Two, there was more excess capacity under Trump than under Biden. So those are the two big things.
Capacity of what?
Excess capacity, as in economic, as in basically slack in the economy. Capacity not being utilized, as in like resources staying stagnant and not being utilized.
Well, underneath Trump, until the war happened, right? Until the war happened, we kind of almost manufactured.
Oh, it's another thing. The Ukraine war didn't happen until Biden, but yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's almost like we manufactured after an era of stagnation and of economic kind of balance. We kind of manufactured this new sanction crisis, completely man-made, completely created by policy, and it kind of ruined the whole status quo. And now we're going to sit there and attribute that all the inflation could have happened underneath Trump, even though it would never happen underneath Trump. And you can't join,
Isaac? Yeah, Isaac, you have perms. You can join.
And the policies were completely different underneath Biden. There were specific policies we can go after, like sanctions, wars, different, not even stimulus checks. These are inflationary acts, like the CARES Act and stuff like that. But yeah.
So I didn't read your message previously.
This is all attributable to Biden's horrible policies. This inflation. It's not attributable to anything else.
Well, it's obviously not all attributable to the American Rescue Plan. Like, some of it is obviously attributable to the fiscal stimulus Trump did. Some of it is obviously attributable to supply side shocks that would have happened even regardless of the war in Ukraine. Like, for example, China shutting down factories. It's not a Biden policy. Obviously, that had negative supply side impacts. To claim that it's all attributable to Biden is completely insane. But if you're gonna wait, why do you attribute all of the inflation to Biden, but you don't attribute? Do you attribute any of the job recovery to Biden?
Can I answer your question?
Do you attribute any?
I'll tell you why.
Can I just answer first? Do you attribute any of the job recovery to Biden?
Can I tell you why I attribute?
Wait, can you answer my question first? Do you attribute any of the job recovery to Biden?
You asked me two questions. Let me answer the first one. The reason I attribute this whole inflationary,
all of it. You attribute all of it to Biden
upon the American people to Biden is directly because of his policies of sanctioning Russian oil and sanctioning Russian energy.
That created all of it?
Listen to me. There was nowhere else ever in history did we ever see anything like that before. Show me. Where did underneath Trump, underneath anyone? Man, it was okay for him to do the American Rescue Plan. Why did he have to start that war? This is the biggest calamity. He sanctioned Russia, forced the American people to take the brunt of the inflation. That was the single-handedly biggest inflationary act and policy that he enacted upon the American people.
Can you concede that it was not all of it?
And that's why I blame Biden the most. That's why I put all the blame on Biden. That's why
now you just said most, and then you said all.
Yeah, that's why I attribute to him most of the inflation that happened. Because unless you show me inflation of 2.4%, everything above that, it's Biden's fault. Biden's trash policies of starting sanctions and war of people he shouldn't have business of sanctioning for his freaking special interest. Let's not get into that, okay? We already got into that, but I'm ready to talk about Burisma.
Great. Do you attribute any of the job recovery to Biden, or is the job recovery somehow all Trump?
Now we can talk about the job recovery. Let's talk about the job recovery. Give me what job recovery are you seeing right now? Because right now all I'm seeing
the primates and population employment ratio is at all-time highs.
Just describe to you what I'm looking at. I don't know what you're looking at. What I'm looking at. Hey, Isaac.
I just told you what I'm looking
at. Bring him on, man. Bring Isaac on. What I'm looking at.
Isaac gets firm to join whenever he wants, if he wants to. It's up to him.
He's typing the living bejesus out of your chat. It seems like he wants to come in, is all I'm saying. But what I'm looking at from my images is that What were we talking about?
The job recovery.
The job recovery, yeah. It seems like from my sources that all these numbers, though, 800,000, 127,000, these random numbers, seems like we're redacting them, taking them back. And
so I don't think you understand how the revisions work. I can explain it to you if you want. But one, I'll say that the revisions are not evidence
that big. Did Trump do a revision that big?
Trump did not have a revision that big, but Trump also had and also the BLS was specifically created to be an independent agency without political influence. There's no.
You can't tell me there's an agency without political influence anymore. I don't believe you anymore. You can't say that. You're gonna say the media is unbiased. Are you aware? Yeah, sure. Anderson Cooper is unbiased. Sure. I believe you. Jake Tapper doesn't care about what he's. Doesn't have any biases. Sure. I don't believe.
Okay, wait. Just real. If there's a conspiracy to manufacture the job numbers, then why?
On Earth was saying Trump was a Nazi. Go away from me. No.
Wait. Okay. Is there? I don't believe if there was a conspiracy to manipulate the job numbers, why on earth would they release the revisions at all? Why wouldn't they at least wait till after the election to release the revisions? Like what?
Because it was leaked, maybe.
No, it was not leaked. It was put out on its regular schedule. Its regular schedule that it's maintained since 1979. Okay, the methodology for job revisions has not changed since 1979.
So you just by mistake make up 1 million jobs? What's happening? What kind of revision is that?
Can you explain to me how the BLS tracks this stuff and how the revisions are made?
Well, maybe it's such a huge revision that they needed to immediately address where's these numbers coming from. Why are we making such big errors?
Can you explain to me how many times are the job numbers revised?
Our number reading. Or who our accountant, we need to switch him up. Maybe that's what they need. That's why they brought it up.
Do you even?
Sorry, go ahead.
You keep saying like maybe, but I don't think you even understand. Why are you saying maybe if you understand how the job numbers work? Do you understand how the job numbers work? What's the current population survey, Manar? You don't know. So you don't know how the job number. You have no clue how the job numbers are calculated at all. All you're saying is random conspiracy X, random conspiracy Y. What'd you ask? What?
Bro, I was drinking water. What population? What?
Do you know what the current population survey is?
What's the population survey? Is it the regular survey they do?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you don't you understand you don't even know how these job numbers are calculated, but you're just throwing random shit conspiracies at the wall. You're saying, well, maybe it was such a big revision that they needed to put it out immediately. One, it was on the regular schedule of them being revised, and two, we have seen bigger revisions in the past. And then you're saying like, oh, political influence, but like if there's political influence, like why would it why would this job report harm terrorists or downward revision? Like that doesn't make sense at all. Why don't they at least wait till after the election?
Because you're the one that wants to bring up these numbers. How can we believe any of these numbers if we're just gonna start revising every single time we come up with a report? So that's
why did they revise the numbers, Manar?
I just brought it up so just to remind you that maybe we shouldn't be sitting there and reading every single report bringing up good numbers.
Okay. So there's good reason to trust these numbers. The reason they revise the numbers is because there's a trade. The BLS.
Trust them. Before revision.
What'd you say? There's a trade-off between how fast you get data versus how accurate that data is. So the BLS basically surveys a bunch of businesses month to month to try to track how many jobs are being added. Now, the BLS one isn't the only people who do this. There's also a private agency that does this as well, and its numbers tend to correlate pretty well to BLS. The most accurate data comes like 2 years later from tax survey data. We don't want to wait 2 years to know how well the economy was doing in any given month. So what the BLS does is it tracks both. So what it does is it month to month it surveys businesses and calculates job numbers, and then the next 2 months it revises those numbers based on more data it gets in, and then like a year down the line they get what's called like a baseline tax survey number. That's from tax data. It's not the most accurate tax data, but it's from tax data. And they revise these numbers again. And then later on, once they get the full tax data, they put out like a final revision. But that takes literally 2 years. We don't want to wait until 2025 to know how well the economy was doing in October 2023. All of this is totally transparent. You can go to the BLS. They release the numbers every month. They tell you their methodology. The methodology has not changed since 1979. There's no evidence of a conspiracy at all. These are civil servants. They're statisticians doing their job. The BLS was specifically created.
All I'm saying is it seems that I didn't say there's a conspiracy or any evidence. It just seems
you were suggesting that, but okay.
Everything I'm saying is speculation. Relax. I'm not asserting anything forcefully upon this conversation. I'm just saying it seems to me that there is possibly a collusion, because why is the number so different? What happened? Why didn't we
I just told you what happened. They got more accurate tax data and revised the numbers down.
The whole way of adding these numbers up, or did they change the accountant? I just don't like. You're not.
I just told you they didn't change it since 1979.
I guess. Bro, Isaac needs to like y'all. I don't know. I don't know who's better, actually. I don't know.
Yeah, so I think we have good reasons to trust these numbers, and like the numbers, like there are private agencies that also do these numbers. Like we can use the APD. I think it's APD. They're a private company that tracks employment, and they find pretty similar things to the BLS. And by the way,
Isaac,
everyone who knows anything about economics knows that from month to month there is what we call noise in the job numbers, and that they might not be the most accurate. The Fed makes decisions knowing that, hey, the BLS month-to-month numbers might be noise. They might not be the most accurate information, but they still try to make decisions off of that anyway. Here's a question, actually. Do you think it's plausible that the United States would have the strongest economy in the world if the Federal Reserve was using faked numbers? Is that plausible?
Short-lived, yes, but
we've had the strongest economy in the world for like how many years now?
We've had past tense. I can say.
Well, I think we still have it now, but okay.
You presented a thought experiment, so let's think it through. Mm-hmm. So you said, is it possible that the economy is so strong if we're lying about it? Okay. Is it possible we can lie about it?
If the Federal Reserve is using faked numbers to get its decisions.
For a short amount of time. Kind of like how modernity is lying about how it's so amazing to be enlightened, but basically all its best moral features are stolen from traditional morality. The same thing.
What?
Yeah. Like your marriage, your most.
With tethers and stuff. Okay.
Yeah, marriage.
How long do you think the job numbers have been manipulated for?
No. That's what I'm trying to tell you. You guys, you steal these small things. You steal the good economy.
Can you answer how long do you think the job numbers have been manipulated for? You steal the good
economy you had for a little while, and claim, oh look, this is the new modern vision. And then you claim it's better because the only good and positive sides of it are the sides that are traditional, really, and the other sides are all trash. And then you're going to sit there and say that, look how great our economy is. Of course our economy is great. It's a 250-year-old economy. It's not going to just be crashed in one night. It's one of the most trusted economies. But are you going to act like the policies that Biden enacted within this economy is going to strengthen it? Of course, nobody will argue that it is. It's 100%
well, I will argue that, but that's separate from my.
100% weakened.
Wait, but I want to answer my question first. How long do you think the job numbers have been revised, or been manipulated? Do you think they only were just started being manipulated?
No. I believe everything there's something that started in 2020 since Hillary Clinton lost. Something activated the moment Hillary Clinton lost, and we saw that in the 2020 election.
Since 2016.
Let me finish, please. You asked me a question. Let me give you an example of a major example, a general example of what I'm talking about. Since Hillary Clinton, before her, there was basically about 65 to 70 million votes that the Democrats would get. And then all of a sudden in 2020, they got 80 to 85 million. and then all of a sudden they lost those votes again. So all I'm saying is, generally speaking, I can provide you evidence that there's something that activated that wasn't there before Hillary, happened right after Hillary, and then almost immediately disappeared, and is the reason probably why you couldn't get the next election. But there's a lot of evidence to do that. Like, I mean, to sit there and you're not, I mean, you don't have to agree with me, but you have to agree that there is a lot of weird stuff that is on the books.
Can you name a single person who works at the BLS?
The who?
What does BLS stand for, Manar?
BLS? Is that a new Korean band?
What does the BLS track, Manar?
Blood, sweat, and tears. What?
What is the BLS track?
Who's the BLS? Why are you introducing a new...
So you're alleging a conspiracy. You don't know anyone who works at the BLS. You don't know what the BLS is. You don't know what the BLS stands for. You're alleging this major conspiracy that all the job numbers are faked. And since 2016, the Federal Reserve has been using fake job numbers.
Let me give you an example.
You can't give it an example because you don't know what the BLS is.
Let me give you an example. For example,
there's literally no example that you could give if you don't know what the BLS is.
I don't want to dive in too deep, but for example,
right.
Big push on mandation and you know, medical. Hello. Yeah. There was a big push on, for example, this medical mandation and stuff like that. That's what I'm talking to you about. That these numbers there's clear evidence that they're being skewed, they're being manipulated. It started in 2020. It started in like right after Hillary Clinton lost the election, and it's never stopped ever since. That's all I'm saying. I'm not claiming anything else. I don't know what it is. I can't see it.
You just said you claim that the numbers have been manipulated since 2016 or 2020, but you don't know what the BLS is.
No, not necessarily just the job numbers. I'm mentioning many institutions that I don't trust
numbers?
Anymore.
Like the inflation numbers?
Many institutions like the CDC's numbers. To say that it was one of the biggest.
Right now. I know more about the BLS and what their numbers are like. Do you know anything about the BEA?
Institutions in general, I don't trust them anymore. Ever since
you don't trust any of them. Why was the BLS created? Do you know?
Shady business that's been happening ever since Hillary lost the election. That's all my claim.
Yeah, that's great. Why was the BLS created? Do you know?
BLS, I don't know. It's like to review.
Okay,
I don't know. I haven't looked into this.
So BLS was created
out of that counts the job.
Yeah, that counts the job numbers. Yep.
Okay, so I don't know why they're created to like a kind of a review. They do these review departments to make sure that the governmental spending is going right.
Not really. No, they don't have to do with government spending. The BLS is a Bureau of Labor Statistics. They were born because unions were having a dispute with companies over how much inflation was going up, and the unions wanted a government institution to be on their side to track this, to make sure their wages were coming up, were keeping up with inflation. And basically, the companies obviously didn't like this. The compromise was have the Bureau of Labor Statistics be an independent statistical agency free from political interference. It was specifically designed to be independent. It's been investigated before, and they didn't find anything wrong. The Southern Democrats literally hired a law firm to investigate the head of the BLS because they thought he was faking numbers about child labor in the South, and guess what? The Southern Democrats found nothing. There was no evidence of any wrongdoing on the BLS's behalf. You don't even know who works there, so I don't know how you're alleging wrongdoing if you don't know anything about it. And it's not like there's only this one institution that tracks inflation. The BLS tracks CPI, but the BEA tracks PCE. Do you trust the PCE numbers?
The PCE?
PCE. Do you know what the difference between CPI and PCE is? So you don't know. You don't even know the difference between two different measures of inflation, and you're alleging an entire conspiracy. You're alleging a cross-agency conspiracy.
I never alleged
You absolutely allege a conspiracy. We're saying that the numbers have been manipulated since 2020.
You asked me one question. You asked me, do you believe the numbers of the jobs? I said, since they've been revising, and since there's so much, and since I saw that there was, and I showed you proof that there's a lot of manipulation in numbers since 2020.
You just said they're being manipulated. How are you saying that you're not claiming they're manipulated?
I'll tell you what I really mean by that is I want to do more scrutiny. That's all. I don't.
Right.
I'm not alleging.
What is more scrutiny? What does more scrutiny look like?
Institutions automatically is what I mean. I don't just accept any information you tell me.
It's not like you just don't. I just gave you the reasons why you should trust it. It's just insane to say, like, I automatically, like, don't trust these institutions. And by the way, I don't know anyone who works with them. I don't know. I have not clicked on their website once. I don't even know who they are. I don't know what they measure, but I just automatically don't trust them at all. This is insane. You're alleging, like, yeah, there's no reason to believe they're manipulated.
Wendy Fieri said, I don't know what a BLS is, but you need to stop lying for real.
True.
And they need to stop lying for real too. Listen.
But also, what does like more scrutiny look like? You understand? What does more scrutiny look like if it's not constantly revising your numbers to make them more accurate? I say constantly, but they do it like 5 times. But
yeah, why are you? Well, listen. Okay, I don't care about the numbers. All I want to go is dive back. Let's get into the real issue. Why are you running away from it? Because the original.
I'm not literally the claim. What my question was? Do you give Biden?
Was, why do you blame all of this?
My question. I had 2 questions. I said, why do you blame all the inflation on Biden? And then 2, do you give Biden any credit for the job recovery? And then he said, what job recovery? All the numbers I've seen have been revised down.
We lost it. He said they recovered 1 million jobs. We lost it. I'm supposed to sit here and believe we're not going to lose another million with another revision. I'm not going to just sit here and accept that these numbers are true.
Right.
I can't anymore.
You have no good evidence that they're fake at all, and I have very good evidence that they're real.
Like these. No, my whole claim.
First of all, we have seen. Wait. We did see.
Doesn't know what less means. I'm done. I won this debate.
Yeah, great. Wait, is your position that we didn't see any revisions of the Trump, or just that they weren't this big?
No, we seen revisions, of course. The BLS, you've informed me now, very informed on this.
Yes,
Nonfon.
Revises numbers on a regular schedule. Yep.
Yeah, and they do very good statistical analysis and a lot of data. They have very smart, let's say, nerdos.
Yeah. Okay, so just to be clear, there have been revisions this big before.
Listen,
right?
They're great. They're great, but they were better underneath Trump. All I gotta say, he hired better accountants. That's all I gotta say. Apparently now they're doing. I've never seen a million job revision underneath the BLS. Have you seen underneath Trump?
Okay.
Have you seen a million job revision?
I didn't see it underneath Trump, but there have been job revisions. Yeah, the job numbers weren't accurate primarily because of COVID, and job revisions tend to be down when we're in a recession, which is why people thought this jobs report was a big deal, because it could be a sign that we're in a recession. Now, there aren't many other good reasons to believe we're in a recession, but we did have seen revisions like this in the past. The one in 2006 was just as big, and the one in 2009 was bigger. And also, by the way, in this report that the 8 million jobs or whatever were lost, the July and August numbers got revised upwards, and as did March 2024, July 2023, and December 2023. So I guess those were faked, but in the opposite direction then. And
by how many? By less than 100,000?
I don't know how many each one individually was.
It wasn't how many revisions. It was how many. What was the difference? I don't care how many revisions they do. I want to know how big of a difference the revision. That's did they start accounting numbers differently? What happened?
I already told you they have not changed the methodology for this since 1979.
Then you explain to me, okay, and I'm not supposed to have a conspiracy theory. You tell me what happened, then I'm trying to come up with a conclusion. Somebody asked me what could have happened. This BLS, BTS, they were trying to sing together, and then all the numbers disappeared. What? How? Where's the Korean? Where's the Korean bomb?
The survey,
first number one. I'm trying to make jokes. Isaac's so cool. He makes me feel
great.
Cool.
The current population survey had issues during COVID, so it wasn't as accurate. The current population survey has had the response rate trending downwards for a while now, actually, so it's getting less and less accurate. Now, there is a solution to fix this, by the way. Biden wanted the funding for the BLS to fix this issue. The House Republicans are the ones that got rid of that, by the way. They're the ones that didn't want to give money to the BLS to track these numbers more accurately. But, that's the reason why. There are noise in month-to-month numbers. There gets progressively less noise as those as those revisions keep going on.
So
Like,
your conclusion is noise, less noise.
My conclusion is that there was a lot of noise in these numbers because the current population survey of issues during COVID, and also generally, well, a lot of economic models actually kind of broke during COVID. But sometimes when the economy is doing poorly, we get big downward revisions, which is why this was in the news all the time.
You know what
which because people.
You remind me of my internet provider during COVID. Excuse me, sorry, we don't have enough people to answer the phones. You're going to have to wait 30 minutes. So I'm supposed to sit here and basically S-word this and poop this whole time and get screwed over, and all you have to say back to me is COVID? Are you kidding me, man? This is not enough.
I gave you multiple. Oh my god! I explained to you exactly how these revisions are calculated.
Linked back to COVID, but Trump dealt with COVID, never increased his inflation, never botched his numbers, never messed around as big as this.
The revisions were also bigger in the COVID months that Trump had as well. But okay. Also, these numbers aren't. Stop saying botched. The revisions does not imply that it's botched. But okay.
Yeah, what's a revision like? You have to change the whole equation, I guess. What did they use a wrong formula?
You get more accurate data, and you plug that data into the same formula, the formula that they've been using since 1979, by the way.
All right, so now you understand my position here, that it seems that Biden's policies are specific to the economy. Trump had the opportunity to kind of do the same to the economy, never did. And there's a reason why American people trust Trump. So let's get to the bottom of why I really want to talk to you here. What's the future of the Democratic Party looking like? Because you had an enormous shift. And I need a straight answer from you now. I want to know what's your future going to look like.
I mean, I wish I knew the answer to that. I don't know. I think Democrats are probably...
Democratic president 2024? Is it Bernie Sanders finally?
If I knew Bernie's way too old. If I knew the answer to that, I'd be betting on Polymarket. But one, like, I think I should have bet early. I knew Trump was gonna win. I'm so dumb, but I didn't have any money left. Right.
No one will donate to me. I'm not like you. You got a lot of people. And you got funny ass chat.
Yeah, we had a lot of kind of down ballot victories, right? Like in North Carolina, our Democratic governor won. There's a lot of states actually where like the Democratic senator won, but Kamala Harris didn't win the state. Like, this wasn't like a huge red wave. It was just that people blamed the president for inflation.
Are you kidding me?
I think it's the big issue.
Wait. This was not a huge red wave.
Do you deny that there were a lot of senators who won states like in Arizona?
What I see? No, not even Arizona. What about Tulsi Gabbard?
What about her?
What about RFK Jr.? That's the red wave. It's not the voters. It's that you lost your Democratic Party. You don't have a collusion.
Tulsi Gabbard is not the Democratic Party.
She was a populist of the Democratic Party. People looked at her like a Bernie Sanders. Yes.
Is Liz Cheney the Republican Party?
Populist. She was the next president. If you
wait, Manar, do you think Liz Cheney is a rhino, Manar? What do you think of Liz Cheney?
Never mind. I take it back. You're better than Nonfon. Go ahead.
What do you think of Liz Cheney, Manar?
Yikes. She looked pretty.
But she was a Republican. Like what?
Woo! I'm better.
Nice one, Isaac.
I know. Why is she a Democrat now? And do you accept her?
Liz Cheney's not a Democrat now.
Why did the Republicans get the best of the Democrats and the Democrats got the worst of the Republicans?
Wait, do you think the best of the Democrats are Tulsi Gabbard?
Yes, the Democratic royalty.
RFK Jr.
Are you kidding me?
This is an absurd. This is like me saying the best of Republicans is Liz Cheney.
Never loved Tulsi is crazy. She was your populist. She was literally one of the most popular candidates in the debates, in the presidential debate, in the Democratic presidential debate. This is bullshit. This is crazy to me that you are supposed to be liberals and you guys don't know that Tulsi and her history. She destroyed Kamala. She is at least more popular than Kamala. We gotta agree there.
Maybe, but I also think she's dumb.
Yeah, but You're talking about Kamala, right?
Well, I think Kamala will surround herself with sane people. I think Tulsi Gabbard is just a dipshit populist that doesn't actually.
I think she surrounded herself with a dead puppet, and now it's kind of weird, man. It's weird, man. Like I get the energy, like when she sits next to Jill Stein and they don't even look at each other. I get it because I have a wife and I have a single mother, and I get this animosity that women can have to one another. I feel it. I see that energy. They don't know what to do with it, so they display it clear as day. And there's a clear animosity between them. They won't even look at each other as if they're not next to each other. It's hilarious to see. But yeah, let's act like there's no infighting between the Democrats and that you guys are all a great coalition, that all your numbers are not.
I never made that claim.
They're not botched, and we should believe every report. And yeah, let's discuss the future. The next populist is, according to Isaac, Pete Buttigieg. That's who you're gonna send in.
I wouldn't mind Pete. I think Pete does a good job.
Get ready for another loss against Don Jr.
I mean, I don't know if they'll run him, but I mean, I think Pete could win against Don Jr. Yeah, it depends, but yeah.
They would run RFK, or they would run Vivek, or they would run Elon Musk. They were not gonna run. Yeah,
well, Elon Musk can't run, but
they'll run a populist. The Republicans are just gonna keep running populist. They're never gonna stop because I don't think the thing about Trump is his first presidency, he didn't get as many Republicans behind him as now, and he is the Republican Party. Like, he's the one that's sucking all the donations from the Republican Party for the Republican Party. So if anyone and getting all of the Republicans elected, so whoever he decides to beat back gets a lot of money, a lot of donations, so he's basically the new face of the Republican Party. He's kind of like Nancy Pelosi. So people are now behind him. He kind of completely shifted the Republican Party. So the Republican Party is going to be a populist.
I don't disagree. Party. I think that's very unfortunate, but I don't disagree.
Party. So when you say you're going to run a populist, I just don't see what that looks like. I don't understand it. To me, it seems like it's going to lose again.
Well, I didn't say. I said play into populist rhetoric more. Is what I said.
Trump's party and the Republican Party. That's for.
I don't think Donald Trump has ever had a above 45% approval rating, but when I said I didn't say run a populist,
I
said
your data's accurate, huh?
Yeah, well, I never claimed the data was fake for that, but I said playing the populist rhetoric more, which I do think them
win. Okay, till the last second, but okay.
What? Okay. I think I said Democrats need to play into populist rhetoric more. To be clear, I don't know if I want to run a populist because I think a lot of populists are dumb, but I think they do need to start playing into that rhetoric more, is what I think needs to happen.
Okay, you need to give an example of that. Is it like Destiny going up and saying we need to shoot more of these guys in the rallies, or what is it?
I gave an example of that earlier when I said, like, we need to, like, with the messaging for, like, building more homes, the messaging can look very different. You can either have, like, a dry, boring, like, way to message it, or you can have a very, like, enthusiastic, like, cut government bureaucracy, cut the red tape to build more homes, things like that. Like, there's other, yeah, I think that's something that needs to happen. But also, again, I think Kamala Harris was just at a big disadvantage because of all the inflation, and I don't know if it would have mattered what she did, but I think that's the biggest single individual reason is the inflation.
Well, to me, it's clear as day how Republicans are going to win again. They're just going to run Tulsi Gabbard. They're going to run Vivek, and he's going to sweep. All they have to do is produce a little bit of change, and it's very easy. I mean, the previous party has done such a horrendous job that I think you guys are lost for the next decade. I think you're not going to get the party for maybe 12 years.
12 years? Damn. No, I don't think that at all. Especially...
I mean, you're refusing to change your mindset. You're refusing to change the way you're speaking. You're refusing to start doubting the data. You're refusing to stop believing these institutions that lied to you this whole election. You're refusing...
Manar, who has done more research into how the BLS calculates numbers, me or you?
No, but you're refusing to create any change in the way of your behavior. post this.
I don't understand how you say I'm like refusing to consider these numbers aren't bots when like I've done infinitely more research into how the BLS uses data to calculate these numbers than you are.
Matter
than you have.
when obviously they're using a new method, or they wouldn't have botched these numbers.
How many times have I said to you that they haven't changed the methodology since 1979? I swear I've said that like 10 times.
Yeah, and the UPS is only going to raise the stamp prices one more time this year, and that's it
what?
for the next 5 years. Sure. That's what they say. That's what they say. And then all of a sudden, you got two more raises next year, and every one of them is a historical and record.
Wait,
Yeah, that's what the UPS did. They said they were not going to raise any more
stamp prices. The stamp prices. I have them up at 200%. I don't know why.
Historical increase, 5 pennies for one stamp.
Sample your
increase of
quiet. You
price.
gotta get closer to your
Increase.
mic, buddy.
So why are you sitting there believing everything they say? Sorry.
1 second.
God damn it, bro. I hate this motherfucker, bro. He eats babies.
True.
Okay, wait. Can you hear me? Is it better now? Okay, yeah, just look,
Bro,
maybe I
like
maybe I do. Look, just
laughing
one question, and I'll be gone. Just please tell me this, because I hope like they will run Vivek, okay? Do you think there's a shot that a brown Indian non-Christian is gonna win with Republicans? Please, I fucking hope. Tell me yes. Be this delusional. Please, I'm begging you.
Bro, you're so freaking racist. It's funny. But listen.
I'm not.
Do you agree with me? No, because your implication is the whites will not vote for him. But do you agree with me?
Yeah, Christians.
He's
one of the biggest things that Republicans have been attacking Vivek for. Like, he gave speeches. Republicans have been attacking him for not being a Christian. You know that. Evangelical vote is strong.
He's a populist.
Right?
He's a populist. Is he
it doesn't
not
matter.
popular? Is he
Vote
a popular pick right now?
Really? I don't know if Vivek could win. Honestly, I really don't know.
Populist
there are a lot of people who don't like him.
He will not get the evangelical
because he's Indian.
vote
I've seen it on Twitter.
Because he's
maybe basing my opinion off of Twitter isn't good.
Or last election, you guys said MAGA's nothing, MAGA's small. Now MAGA's literally.
Okay, do you want to bet on it? That's what I'm saying. I fucking
Same
hope.
thing.
I fucking
These
hope they
small,
run
little,
Vivek.
brainless children are taking over the whole party.
No, I think Republicans need to listen to people like you more. I hope they run Vivek in 2028, and I will see him getting crushed because he doesn't get the Christian vote as much. I fucking hope that happens. Can you concede that, like, why do you think? Here's a question. Here's a question.
No,
why do you think Trump selected Pence? Wait, why do you think Trump selected Pence? He's not a populist.
Who? Pence? What?
Pence. Mike Pence. His vice president. Yeah. Why do you think he selected him?
Why?
Because he's an evangelical. He's not a populist. He's an evangelical.
My understanding is Trump's first administration is going to be a total difference than his.
I didn't say it's going to be the same. I didn't say it's going to be the same.
I'm trying to get no claim about that.
Manar, 1 second, please. I'm begging you. Just 1 minute of your time.
Question, man. Just give me 10 seconds.
Go ahead. Take it on.
So you asked me.
Our father doesn't know who Mike Pence is.
I believe in his first administration, he was so unfamiliar. He was not a politician. He needed a true politician to follow along and to learn from and to understand. In his now in second tenure, after a decade of doing this, I feel like he now feels so more knowledgeable about this. I feel like he's now only looking for loyalty, looking for people that will get the job done, that won't lie to him. Like, he wanted to pull out of Syria and then they lied to him. He tried to fire them after they lied to him because they kept troops there. Okay. So what he realized is, so it seems like he's grown from it, and he's realized now he wants loyal people that will get the job done rather than this establishment figures that are supposedly the right.
But I'm asking, why did he? There are a bajillion career politicians Trump could have selected. Why did he select Pence? There's a reason. The reason is because Pence is an evangelical, white evangelical, and evangelicals love that. Okay, they love the Trump, and they still love Trump because he caters to them. Evangelicals vote on religion. Okay, it's just a fact. Right, same way that a lot of people vote on economic issues, right? They don't care about any other stuff. Or a lot of people just vote on abortion. That's kind of like Christians as well, right? A lot of people just vote because they want the leader to be Christian. If you look at polls, like, evangelicals really don't want a non-Christian president, okay? It's really unpopular. They don't want it. So if you run Vivek, right, and now evangelical, like he gets to talk in front of churches and evangelicals, and he has to be like, I'm not a Christian, but they're gonna really hate him. It's not because I'm racist. I'm just saying these people will discriminate against him because of his religion. And that will happen. Same way that Republicans will never run a Muslim or a Jew because they will not get the vote. They will never run an Indian, like non-Christian. It just will not happen. And if they do, I hope they do. I hope they do because they'll get crushed.
Bro, you're saying that, but the real person that's getting crushed right now is the Democrats. And you need to answer what is your actual plan next year, because actually Tulsi Gabbard is going to be a woman. She's going to be a very popular nominee and
I don't think
so.
I don't think. What do you think?
Yeah, let me finish, please. Yeah, you're going to hear about her a lot in the news because she's going to be part of the administration. So, what is this? A dating show? What is this?
Well, I'm not sure. I'm not sure she will get approved.
Where are you
I'm not
going?
sure. Yeah. Wait, so you asked me a question.
This is a media company.
I'm not sure Tulsi will get approved.
What's the actual question? Is
I
not
want to finish, bro. I let you finish. You asked me for 10 seconds. I let you finish.
God damn it, man! Is this guy on some? Can you give him some more, like something to drink?
Can you just let him reply to the Tulsi Gabbard thing?
I just want to finish like an answer. Okay, so you asked me what my plan is.
Can you finish asking the question, bro? Isaac, can you?
My God, I'm trying to answer, bro.
All right, just answer. Just start answering.
Deep breath. Okay, great. He asked me, what is my plan and what do I think, how do I think Democrats should handle Tulsi? So for one, I'm not confident. Oh my God,
bro.
For one, I'm not confident she will get her position and will be approved. I'm not sure. I'm not sure she will not have a fallout with Trump as well, because Trump has a lot of fallout with a lot of people. Why? Because I'm not sure Trump will have the votes for it in the Senate.
So the Senate is going.
So that's the first thing. Let me finish the Senate. Let me finish my answer. The second thing is, I agree with Nonfon. I think Democrats should run on like anti-corruption, anti-billionaire, and and more like pro building more housing rhetoric. That's kind of populist. We can look at some pseudo-populists in the Democratic Party, like John Fetterman, who won against Mehmet Oz, who's now going to be like in charge of Medicare under Trump. Right? He was very popular. He was the common man, right? He came with like normal sweatshirts to the Congress, and like everyone was triggered about that in the Republican Party. Same way that they were triggered about Obama wearing a tan suit, right? So that's an example of someone who had working class rhetoric and like won their election against all odds. So that would be a direction, I think. But I don't think Tulsi has ever been that popular. I mean, I've never seen her having high approval numbers. She got like less than 3% of the primary vote in 2020. No, she's never been that popular. Same way that Vivek has never been popular within the Republican Party. He's been very popular within the schizophrenic Joe Rogan types, right? But he's never had a lot of like popularity within the primary, within like, people like surveys. Like, no, he's just not that popular. Is that like?
No, clear? Can you summarize?
Oh my God.
So one, I'm not sure Tulsi will survive the 4 years as a politician in the Trump administration. It's gonna be the first thing. When I say survive, I don't mean dead. I mean just like not in office.
Get fired or not even get confirmed. Yeah.
I'm not confident that Vivek and Tulsi are even popular to begin with. I'm gonna bet like they're not gonna run Tulsi in 2028. And the third thing,
yeah, but
I think Democrats need to have more pseudo-populist rhetoric around issues that speak to the common man, like marijuana legalization, building more housing, and so forth, like Fetterman.
Evidence contrary to the second one, that they're not popular. Actually, they're extremely popular. Actually, it was kind of historical what Tulsi did with RFK Jr., and it's arguably what shifted the whole race. Isaac maybe argues down below here. But yeah, so that's the second one. The first one, I forget what you said about the first one. What was the first one?
They might not survive 4 years under Trump.
They're not going to survive 4 years under Trump. They
might not even get confirmed.
Bullshit. And he's going to say they're not popular, right? They're not popular, guys. When they went to the UFC, they were celebrated like champions. Every Twitter post they post with each other, it's insane. It's getting so much popularity, and it's going viral. They're siphoning the youth voices. It seems they're relating to the youth. This is a different movement than I've ever seen before. The idea that Vivek is so young, and he's going to be relatable to the youth, and he's already a big image in the politics world.
He's not. He's not.
Yes,
He's really not.
and he's so young, and I'm telling you, man, he's very popular. People are loving how smart he is. All he has to do is prove to them he has a strong record.
Do you think a
and
non-Christian
he's going to earn their trust. You need to be very careful.
Wait, can we just start real quick, Manar? Do you think
win the presidency in the Republican Party when they rely on the Christian vote in the key swing states?
Christians on the key states, what?
Oh my God, there are swing states. They're critical. They decide the election. There's a high Christian population in them. A lot of evangelicals too. They vote on their religion, a lot of them. When you run a brown non-Christian like Vivek, they're not going to like it, and they're not going to vote for him.
Yeah, no, don't worry about that. The Democrats will make sure that the Republican secures the Christian vote. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that.
Oh,
what?
Okay.
No, if they run
don't worry about that. The Democrats will ensure that the Christians the Republicans secure the Christian vote. Don't worry about that with their education.
There's just a reason there's not a single Hindu Republican politician. There's a reason why there's not a single Hindu Republican politician. There's a reason why there's not. I don't think there's a single representative or senator or anyone who's Republican and Hindu in the Congress. I don't think there's a single one. There's a reason for that.
Hey, Sample, you're the reason the Democrats lost. I want to hear from Isaac the true analyst
Whoa, Jesus.
Of the Democratic Party in the future of the Democratic
Party. I just have one question. Do you think? I'm just curious. Real quick, do you think that all of Trump's appointments will get confirmed by the Senate? Or do you think at least some of them might not?
Yeah, I think that the Republican Senate really owes Trump a lot, and is very scared of him. Now you are gonna see a lot of pushback from the Democrats, and I don't think you can actually get to an agreement with them. It seems like some of these Democrats are kind of unreasonable. But we will see. But I think from the Republican side, you're gonna see a complete bend of the knee. Watch.
Okay. I think that's likely. I also think it's likely that they won't. But I would be willing to bet like $20 right now that if under the condition that they run Vivek, that he's gonna get crushed. Like, I'm willing to put $20
don't worry about that. I want to know your Democratic Party what they're gonna be running, because who cares about?
I don't know. If I knew, I would bet on that. I just know that if it's Vivek, I'm telling you, same way that I know that if they run Biden again in 2028, we're gonna get crushed, right? I know that.
Who we should run.
And I know that if Republicans run, and when I say Biden, I mean Joe Biden, not
Hunter Biden. Hunter Biden would win.
God,
absolutely.
I support it.
Underdog bet.
I support Hunter Biden for 2028. But either way, I know that if we run Biden again in 2028, we're gonna get crushed. Same way that I know that if Republicans run Vivek in 2028, they're gonna get crushed.
Here's my thing though. You keep appealing to like the Christian part of it, but like
we can do it. He's experienced. Jimmy Carter, let's go.
Vote, being Trump. I don't think
they think he's like religious. They think he did the grip.
But that's what I'm saying. If he can convince the Republican and Christian base,
but he's on. You don't think Vivek is on tape saying I'm not a Christian? Like, he's on tape. Like, he's been asked about this before. He's like, no, look, I'm not a Christian.
And when it comes to things that are
they don't like him for it. He's never been popular with evangelicals.
But when it comes to saying unchristian things on tape, is there a more like prominent example than Donald Trump himself?
They don't care. They don't care about their values. I'm telling you, their values are a grift. But when it's apparent, like, look, when it's apparent and when it's in your face, they're not going to, like, same way that they won't vote for a homosexual in the Democratic Party, but when their own politicians like have gay affairs and whatever, they don't give a fuck, right? They don't have principles. But still, when it's like someone explicitly like a minority and a non-Christian, it's very hard for them to believe it. Not in large swaths. You're just not going to see it.
I don't know. I feel like he could just do the same thing that like Pence did, like just pick a heavily like.
Here's my bet. Under the condition that Republicans run Vivek in 2028, they could not, and then my bet is irrelevant. But if they run Vivek in 2028, I predict that he's going to get crushed, and I'm willing to put $20 on it right now.
I'm more talking about do you think he just can't win it, or do you think he can then? Because right there. That's what I'm saying. The point is, do you think he will?
I don't think he will. I don't know what can means. I don't know what can. I don't know what like you mean by can. Like anyone can. I don't think he will.
Okay. That's more what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about whether or not he'll win the presidency. I'm talking about
The potato can win. I don't know what can is relevant. I'm talking about will.
Sorry. Let me give you a more definite claim. It's crazy when you're saying that you don't think he can win, or sorry, that he will win, just because of the Christian base. When the Christian base seems like the most flexible
That's not
base.
the only reason. He's never been popular. I think he has like less popularity than Trump.
He went from 1% to 11% in the primaries, and now he's backed by Trump, who the Republican Party will cum slurp until the end of time. Okay. So to think that they won't get behind him is a little crazy.
Whoa! No ad hominems in this room, please. No,
to Republicans?
I mean, just to be clear, what percentage of the vote do you think he got in the primary?
He at one point his highest was 11.4.
He dropped from the primary. He didn't get any vote. So I don't know what you're talking about. He dropped from the primary.
Okay, so look up here. Okay, I got you. Yeah, don't worry. I can help you. If you look up the polls throughout the primary, you will see he started
I didn't ask about polls. I asked about voting.
So do we not think voting is a good, do we not think polling is a good way to tabulate, what...
That's not what I asked you, though. You said he got a percentage of the vote, and that threw me off. That was so illiterate. I thought, wow.
Sorry, when I'm talking about polls, when I'm talking about that, does that make it better?
Okay, that's not a vote. Okay, yeah, you said vote, and that was, really bizarre.
Okay, there, now that we've gone through that, do you agree, though, that getting from 1 to 11 is a pretty big growth, and now he has Trump behind him?
1 to 11? No, not when other people drop. Not when other people drop. No, when the less people are in the primary, the more you're gonna get of the vote, of the poll.
So you think okay?
Yeah, but the idea that he lasted that long is insane. It's huge.
I mean, lasting that long is a function of how much you're willing to talk and take the.
No,
it's
and fun. Some money. He has a lot of money.
Forcing you to drop out. There's nothing forcing a candidate to drop out.
No, but he was never
except for Nancy Pelosi.
What forced Nancy Pelosi to drop out?
Nancy Pelosi forced Biden to drop out. Yeah.
That's not what I mean. A law. What? Come on, don't be.
It was a joke sample.
We're joking.
Breathe,
it was a joke. Chill, bro.
I'm on your side.
Chill. Sample. I'm hungry. I want to eat. Can I eat some pork?
Well, no. Eat babies. That's tastier. Christian babies, preferably. Preferably Christian babies.
I can't
Stay safe.
Pork.
Love you all.
Bye.
No, don't go, Isaac.
They're Christian Palestinians. They're rare, but they're the tastiest. Yeah.
Okay, let's get back to the convo of the Democratic Party. I don't know why we're focused on the Republicans. Who cares? I mean, whoever
in the Democratic Party, I don't know. You don't know either.
Trump just has to say, "I trust this guy," and he's gonna win. All Trump has to do is deliver this next 2 years.
Sure.
So now, what is for you the answer?
I think delivering for Trump means doing nothing.
Oh, y'all gonna quit being gay? This is the true question. I know Isaac was too nice to ask it like this.
Actually, we might need to actually be gay. I think we need to run Pete Buttigieg, my guy.
True.
Or my gay, rather. Yeah.
I can see a Gretchen Whitmer with Buttigieg on the team.
That'd be awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, Gretchen Whitmer feeding the Democrats wildlife, which is the Gen Z children, Fieri, and Pete Buttigieg already he's a bear. If you know what I'm talking about.
He needs to be the president. He's the top of the ticket.
But I am curious.
I don't know what Democrats will do. I don't know what I think they should double down.
I'm getting pissed. I don't
know what you're interrupting. I think they should double down on broad, simple messaging, build more homes and safe and legal marijuana or stuff like that. Issues that matter to young voters, to popular people that you can communicate easily. Right? I think that's the direction they should go. I think that we'll see people pushing for that. I don't know what they will select. If I knew, I would bet on it in betting markets. For example, I'm not confident in any candidate right now. I'm very confident that if Republicans pick Vivek, he's going to get crushed. And I'm willing to put $20 on it right now. You won't agree to that bet. You won't bet with me $20 right now.
Isaac, I forget, but I think I said that you were too nice to say that you're not going to ask them why.
Can you address what I said?
How they're ever going to stop losing. But anyways, back to you, man. I think, Sample, you don't live on this earth. I really don't believe you live in this universe. I think you live in a different universe. It just seems like you're out of touch of this space.
If you're so confident, let's bet on it right now. If my bet is under the condition that the Republicans run Vivek, if they don't run Vivek,
Bro, everyone here is broke. Okay, $20 is a lot for us.
Who is the Democrats gonna win? No, you guys have.
I don't know. I said if I knew, I would bet on it.
Yeah,
I said,
why do you expect us to know?
When you said
What?
you're gonna go more gay, I thought you were joking.
-IQ.
Is that your true answer?
I mean, I think Pete Buttigieg could be good, but like I don't know about Pete Buttigieg. I like Pete. I think Pete does a really good job in media circuits. Like
the next election, you guys did, yeah.
I mean, like I'm fine with running a gay candidate. That gay candidate being Pete Buttigieg, like that's fine with me.
Bro,
like
it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work, guys. You guys are gonna lose. You know what you need to do?
I don't know if Buttigieg can win. I'm just saying. I know that if they run Vivek, they lose, and you don't think that.
No, you don't, because you said the same thing about Donald Trump.
Listen, since the Twitch ad apocalypse.
No, I had money that Trump would win.
Apocalypse.
What are you talking about?
I can't. I haven't been getting by.
You don't know me. Shut the fuck up.
Dude, I make way more money on YouTube than I did on Twitch anyway.
You said you didn't have money on Trump. I did.
Although it'd still be nice if my ads on Twitch weren't gone too.
I thought they were going to steal the election from him.
I had more than $20. I don't have much money. I don't want to bet on a lot. I don't bet money that I'm not comfortable losing, right? But I'm willing to bet $20 with you right now that if they run Vivek, they will lose.
Okay, and I'm willing to bet right now, if you guys don't change your messaging and don't switch up a little bit and start actually talking about to the youth of this country and start actually presenting to them ideas that will help them instead of just
I don't disagree though.
Shame and guilt them.
I don't disagree. Why would I bet on something I disagree on?
Well, you have to agree then with me that Kamala Harris lost this election. It was her election.
She lost. What?
Why would we agree with that?
No. But it was her election to lose. No. She had already completely won. Trump was, like you said, unpopular.
No, I think in a certain sense it was impossible for her
behind her. Still loses the election.
I think in a certain sense she could not have.
She is a disgrace, exactly like Hillary Clinton. And I'm tired of you guys going after the Democrats. I'm tired of you. Y'all need to grow up here and stop with the Stockholm syndrome.
Okay.
What?
I don't think I don't think it was ever realistic that she would win. That's why I had money against. Oh my fucking god, retard! Let me finish. So I never thought it was realistic for Kamala to win. That's why I had money that she will lose. I bet money more than $20 that she would lose. Similarly, I think anyone who honestly can look at me in the face and tell me Vivek will win, they're gonna run Vivek, bro. Then I'm willing to bet money with him that he will get crushed. What?
You're such an unserious person. The problem is
that's an argument. That's an argument. That's an argument, bro. That's an argument.
No, the problem is not Vivek. The problem is Nonfon won't agree with me that the Democrats are going to lose the next election if they try to be gay again. They need to become manly.
I don't know what you mean by be gay again. I don't know for sure whether if we ran Pete Buttigieg, I don't know if he would win or lose, but I think Pete Buttigieg would have a chance at least. Like,
I'll tell you, you guys are not going to say it. Isaac might say it, but even him, except when he cuts his ginger hair really short, he doesn't have the ginger bravery as usual. So maybe right now it's not his season. So maybe he won't even say it, but I'm going to say it. If y'all don't get back in and stop shaming your men and act like the women are going to help you win these elections, obviously they failed you. Y'all need to go back in and shake the men's hands.
Have fun on your panel tiki tack.
And maybe to some men, I know you guys like it, maybe fondle their nuts. Not all of them are gonna like it. But listen to me, y'all need to stop being fucking gay. Stop shaming and guilting these men that they're fucking losers because they don't want their wives to be passed around the club. And listen to me, man.
What do you think Kamala said that was related to that?
We will win the next election.
What do you think Kamala said that was related to?
A strong candidate that is behind the youth, that actually wants a strong economy, that wants traditional values, and you will win the next election.
Here's a question. What's the single thing Kamala said?
Not even Isaac. I don't know. Somebody is paying you guys. Give me more money. I want money.
Okay.
I
had money against Trump. The idea that I'm paid to shill for the DNC on Discord is retarded. But you're fine with conspiracies about everything. Like you didn't even know what the BLS was. That was crazy.
Yeah, I don't know what the BLS is, but you're fine alleging yourself.
I'm just making the claim.
I genuinely thought it was a
simply, let me finish. Oh my God. You're impossible, dude. I'm making the claim that Kamala didn't lose because of men having their wife passed around or anything like that. She never talked about that. That's an online issue. That's like a cuck, schizophrenic online Joe Rogan podcast issue that maybe you're the type to talk about that or be interested in like people being cucked. I don't think the average person like cares about that. Sorry.
Can we take a minute to say, make sure you guys follow Nonfon and subscribe. Unsubscribe from Sample.
It's pronounced non-fan. It's pronounced
It's not pronounced no. Fuck you, Sample. No, it's Nonfon, Nonfon, Nonfon420 on Twitch and Kick and Twitter.
I don't make content. I'm not
Nonfon, Nonfon on YouTube. Subscribe there. Go watch me debate conservatives on there as well.
Make sure you guys do not ever subscribe to Sample Text ever.
I agree.
He doesn't have content.
All right. Anyways,
I have like a personal
Sample and his Vivek obsession. Do you like?
Wait, I don't want to. Oh my God! Wait, Manar, just real quick before you go back to feedback, can we agree that Democrats saw quite a bit of success in some down ballot races? Like there were a lot of cases where like the Democratic senator got more votes than Kamala Harris did, like in Arizona.
Yeah. And what do you attribute that to? Me, sorry.
I think the big thing is that people blame the president for inflation.
Manar, do you think Bernie would have significantly outperformed Kamala?
The populist, if they were like a kind of populist, if they were anti-war, they showed that they were anti-interventionism. It seems like these were kind of indicators why these, even though they were Democratic down ballots, they still won.
Well, that's not a good explanation because
it seems like it's a populist. It seems
like
I'm
asking you a question.
Vote movement. It wasn't a Republican movement. It was a populist movement. This is what I need to put in your head.
So let's test that. Do you think if we ran someone like Bernie, he would get like a lot more votes than Kamala? Yes or no? Can he listen? Does he have a brain? Does he have a focus?
Yeah, I don't know.
So Bernie, after he was fondling the booty hole of his of Nancy Pelosi.
What?
Bernie was doing what? Bernie was
stop being online.
Bro,
you're talking about people being cucked, and you're talking about like your wife being passed around, and you're talking about like booty holes and
he can eat a schlong.
That's gay, bro. I don't know.
So that doesn't actually answer the question, though.
Here's my argument. Here's my argument. My argument is very simply, I don't think Democrats had like any real way to win the election, even if they ran a populist like Bernie, because if we look at Vermont, right, where Bernie ran as a senator, he didn't get a significant amount more of the share of the vote than Kamala did. He won like 63%, and she won like 62%. Or like I think he got less votes, but like there was another candidate that got 2%, and if you combine it, he has like 1% more. He got less votes than Kamala in Vermont, right? So don't think this idea that like there is just a mass yearning for like a Bernie type populism against intervention and pro whatever bullshit is like what's going to win for Democrats, because Bernie got less votes than Kamala, right? Like it's just not. It's a delusion. It's a delusion.
I think Warren got less votes than Kamala too. Yeah.
Yeah. So again, like you just are like living online. You just consume right wing content and you just regurgitate this retarded content. You have zero facts.
Unbearable, bro. It's like.
Oh, I just don't like you. I just don't like you. Therefore, you're wrong. I don't like you. Therefore, you're wrong.
It's like now I understand why CNN is losing its viewership. It's
awesome, bro. Awesome, bro. Now can you address what I said? Retard. Can you address what I said?
No. The truth is, you live in a weird world that is not the universe. That is the same universe as mine. And you live in this dream reality. It's called a hoax reality.
Awesome. Now, can you respond to what I said? What did I say that was false? If I'm in a dream reality, what did I say that was false?
And I know your wording. I'm a genius, guys. No one can manipulate me.
Hey, Manar. Why do you think Kamala got less votes? Got more votes?
Nonfon. You gotta admit, man. You gotta concede to me, man. You gotta concede to me.
About what?
Manar, bro, why do you think Bernie got less votes than Kamala?
Smallest, worst enemies than I have in front of me.
I don't think so.
No one thinks that. Wait, but Manar, answer my question. Nonfon, can you force him to answer my question? Like, my question was, how do you explain Bernie getting less votes than Kamala? Can you explain that?
Where?
In Vermont.
When?
In
this
2024.
last election.
Retard.
What the fuck do you mean?
Retard.
Dumbass. Statistic. What are you looking at? What are you talking
Oh my fucking
You don't know anything.
God, bro.
You don't know
Look it up.
anything. You're crazy. You're like retarded. You're like an empty brain.
2024
Empty skull.
Vermont
Nothing inside your brain.
election. Presidential election.
You got like 62% of the vote. Kamala got like 63.
I guess it's proof that Bernie's ineffective. Even his own state hates him.
Or the idea that like there's a mass yearning for like populist, non-interventionist rhetoric is just not there. It's just only a schizophrenic
because
podcast.
No one believes that
like,
Bernie is a populist anymore because Bernie
implies that he
disassociated
lost
from his
because
that rhetoric.
No, there was like another seat. I think there was another seat. There was another seat. I think in West Virginia. There was another seat. I think in West Virginia of this girl. Yeah, there was another seat, I think in West Virginia or something. I could like try to look it up again of this candidate.
Not only did he endorse the Biden
Oh my God, Nonfon,
Hillary Clinton administration.
Oh my God, bro.
Nobody believes that Bernie's a populist
This
anymore.
guy's impossible. Nonfon, can you mute him or something? I
muted him for a second.
Yeah, thank you. There was another candidate, I forgot her name. I think she was in Virginia, West Virginia, somewhere there. Okay, she ran with like working class populist rhetoric, and she got crushed. Right? There's just no evidence at all anywhere in any poll in any election that Democrats would have won massively if they would run this like populist, anti-interventionist or working class rhetoric. It's just not there. We don't see it. It never manifested. That's why Bernie got less of the votes. Now instead of being schizophrenic and pivoting and talking about like people touching buttholes and like people getting cucked or like your podcast bro belief or whatever, can you talk and explain to me why Bernie got less votes than Kamala? Clearly everyone thought he was more populist than Kamala.
Because he turned out to be closeted homosexual. I don't know.
Okay.
It's because he's a socialist.
Fine. I'll talk to you later.
Sample. You are unbearable. You're a propagandist. You're a big liar. That's all I gotta say to you. Thank you.
Wait, Localist, I agree with you. It is because Bernie's more left-leaning. Manar thinks that if we ran someone way more left-leaning because he's a populist, that he would that they would win.
I don't know, like, why he was like he lost because of non-interventionism. Like that has nothing to do with it. It's because he's a socialist, not because he's non-interventionist. It has nothing to do with it.
So he lost because he's a socialist, is what you said?
I think that's the big reason, is he's way super left-leaning, yeah.
Yeah, he's
so
way...
he lost because he's a
also
socialist. That means Kamala lost because she was a socialist.
Yeah.
I don't think
she's farther to the left than Biden.
Even if you say she's a socialist, would you concede she's not as far left as Bernie Sanders is?
Her final year, she presented herself, the final 3 months, but the whole time before, she tried to emulate his kind of messaging, actually.
Maybe in 2019, I don't even think she was as socialist as him in 2019. But
yeah, I guess when it comes to healthcare, but in everything else, in the social policies,
I don't even know
she
if that's true. But okay.
Ever pushed back, ever.
Yeah, like
also, Elizabeth Warren also underperformed Kamala Harris in her state of Massachusetts. She got less of a percentage of the votes and just less votes overall. And Elizabeth Warren is also borderline socialist, social democrat type person, similar to Bernie. So I don't think the idea that running these people would cause us to immediately win is well founded. You don't think that Bernie and Warren are populist?
These are. It's been proven they're not. They have endorsed a non-populist movement, and no one.
Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren are not populist. That's your position.
Yep.
Okay, that's 100% cope. That's 100% cope. Considering
I bet you if you tried to run Bernie versus Trump that last election, you would have lost. I bet you.
Literally earlier in this argument, you were saying that we should have ran Bernie in the primaries linked against Bernie.
You should have given him the race 2016, and you had full control over Bernie. So I don't get why you guys didn't do that. You would have had 12 years of your presidencies. But it's clear as that was my argument, that you should have given him in 2016, and it's clear as day that there's something in the DNC or the Democratic Party that doesn't allow that there's something disconnected from the populist vote. That even though that
Wait,
you guys could have had
populist
a
vote. You
populist-
just admitted that he says.
Yeah, you guys no. In 2016, he was the populist vote. You guys could have had a
Oh, but
populist
he
vote,
switched
quote
and he's no
unquote. Let me
longer a
finish.
populist. Okay,
Let me
got
finish.
it.
He could have been the populist vote, quote unquote, and then you had full control over him because he didn't show his cards yet. He didn't show that he's completely taken over. Isaac, you agree with me? There's no way that Bernie Sanders did not change the sentiment behind him. Nobody believes him anymore. And because all he says is bullshit. He's been talking about how he wants to reduce war, but he voted for Ukraine. He voted for a lot of he's a horrible candidate. So they
Wait, didn't he vote against Iraq and Afghanistan?
They could have had the populist. They could have won 2016. Instead, they forced him to lose. They forced him to go and endorse Biden. After that, he loses, and you think now, after that, they're gonna run him again, and anybody's gonna trust that? Fuck that. He's not the same as he used to be. No, they fucked it up. They fucked it up. They could have ran him and won in 2016.
He's
and
also
they could have
82,
had 12
but yeah.
years. Sorry?
Wait, we could have 12 years, so we could have.
Yeah, you could have gotten 8
won
years
after.
and another. You could have gotten 8 years and another 4 to another 8.
So you do
years,
think
100.
Bernie could have won in 2020? He just would have had the one in 2016 first.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You would have had 8 years and then another
Okay.
4 to 8.
I don't think that. I think it's possible Bernie could have won either 2016 or 2020, but I don't think it's more likely than
Not
someone
anymore.
else.
Nobody cares about him anymore. He endorsed Biden. Nobody believes him anymore. Not even
Just because
Kamala
you endorse it.
endorsed
How long
Biden.
has
Not even
Bernie been
Kamala
endorsing
endorses Biden.
candidates? Wait, did Bernie endorse Hillary?
Yeah, he endorsed Hillary as well. Yes.
Did Bernie endorse whoever ran for president and it'd be Obama? Did Bernie endorse
Yes.
Obama?
Yes. No.
So
wait,
he-
wait.
so
I don't
clearly
know
you can
about
be a
that.
populist.
Nobody knew about Bernie about that time. He wasn't a populist that time.
What do you mean it wasn't a populist at that time?
You see how they are short-lived. You see how they show up and disappear because people don't believe them anymore. You have to. They create a relationship. then they lose it.
Bernie Sanders has been a sitting senator for like he's
Yeah, but
literally one of
nobody
the
believes
longest
he's a
serving
populist
senators.
anymore. Nobody believes he's
That's
behind
not true at
people.
all.
He's an economic populist. Yes, he is.
No.
Why is
they don't
Bernie is
believe that.
also
They
like in
believe
favor of
he's a
some of like the
liar.
tariffs
No,
that Trump isn't.
The sentiment behind Bernie is that he's a liar, that he's untrustworthy,
The class
that he won't
populist.
fight for the people, and that all he was doing was raise donations. That's the sentiment behind it. This is clear as day. I don't know why you guys are so disconnected. Isaac agrees with me. Anyways, go ahead.
Isaac, I don't think Isaac agrees with you that Bernie is not a populist. I think Isaac is saying that Bernie would have won 2020, which I agree Bernie could have won. I don't know if he would have done better than Biden, but
I don't know if he would either. I don't think he would.
Huh? What's up? Gay
I don't think he would have won.
Gayalist party DJ.
localist party.
Joe
You call him
Biden
gay.
better.
Bro, why did Isaac leave this room, bro? Listen to me, guys. No one's
I don't
smarter
know.
than me. Nonfon. Nonfon, concede to me, man. Concede to me.
Concede to you about
actually like
what?
talking to me. Say you like talking to me more than anybody else on Twitch.
I'm not gonna say more than anybody else on Twitch.
Except Tom Foolery. Maybe Tom Foolery is better to talk to.
I've never even talked to Tom Foolery, but Tom Foolery, if you're watching, I'd love to talk to you though. You make good content.
Horrible to talk to.
Tom Foolery's horrible. Tom Foolery, I don't think he'd be horrible to talk to. Tom Foolery, hit me up if you're
Horrible
watching.
to
If you
talk
see this,
I just made a video about his recent interview with Destiny. It was the most disgusting, the dumbest interview I've ever seen in my life. He was like nervous the whole time. He completely agreed, didn't push back at all against Destiny. I mean, it was such a...
well, they're both pretty left-leaning. I would expect that they would agree on most things.
Yeah, but the idea that all left-wingers are like that, you guys don't disagree on anything? What the fuck?
Was that my claim?
No, but that's what happened. Like, you didn't see it. Like, there was a lot of agreement. Like, I literally said in the video.
That
like,
was my claim was that
maybe I
they're both
shouldn't watch,
left-leaning.
maybe
I
I
would
should
expect them
leave
to
him
agree
alone,
on
they're
most
having a moment.
things.
Huh?
My only claim was that they're both left-leaning. I would expect them to agree on most things. And then you said, you think Democrats agree on everything? And I said, no, that wasn't my claim. And then you said, well, we saw Tom Foolery and Destiny agree. And I was like, well, I don't. Yeah, that was my initial claim. It's that Democrats agree on both things, or most things.
Can I ask you a question? Why is no one... Like,
Sure.
I'm surprised no one is donating. Like, man, people should be donating. You're doing good content.
So true, for real.
For real, bro. For real.
For real.
Can y'all hear us?
But no, you do agree this wasn't. I don't know if I would call this like a red wave, because Democrats won quite a few like governor and like House seats that people didn't think they would necessarily win. Although Republicans did get a majority in the House. I just think that like a lot of people voted for Kamala Harris because they think inflation is the president's fault.
All right, man. I agree with you, man. You're smarter than me.
It's not just because inflation. Like it's also.
Did I claim it was just because inflation?
Well, no. I mean, like, it's because she has no solutions to it, and only will.
Well, I don't think the president is in charge of inflation, so I don't know. What'd you say?
Well, that's
sorry?
the reason, because if she had water and was like, okay, we'll splash water on it, then people would vote for her. But she wants. Like,
I don't know if that
on the fire.
One, she did
with, like, more spending, with free college, with free healthcare, free everything, free federal everything.
Yeah,
that's why she lost.
I think people just blame the president for inflation. This is why like every incumbent party lost vote shares, and Kamala Harris actually lost like the second least vote share out of all the developed countries. Inflation is one of the only things all these countries have in common. I think that's probably the biggest individual reason. Well, I don't think it's all because of spending. Clearly, some of it was short-term supply shocks.
No, this doesn't make sense.
Wait, also, Localist, shut the fuck up. You don't believe in inflation. Localist, do you think CPI is real?
No.
Do you think PCE is real?
This is insane.
No.
Do you think the statement that inflation is lower today than it was in 1980 has any truth value?
The only thing I believe in is...
Wait, answer. No, stop it. Answer that.
Yes, I believe everything you say. But...
No, give an automatic answer to that, Locust. Do you think the statement inflation is lower today than it was in 1980? Do you think that statement has truth value?
Yes, of course.
Okay, thank you. You didn't agree to that before. You had previously disagreed with that, but okay.
Yeah, but you can't agree that the value of the dollar from that era is the same as today, even if inflation is smaller.
Thank you, Bobby. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Was my claim that the value of the dollar today is the same as it was in 1980?
Why are we trying to equate the two eras then in inflation?
I'm not trying to equate them.
Because we could claim that the inflation is already is higher. Without it's kind of like a secret inflation where the dollar's lost so much value that
it's a secret inflation.
Yeah, because it's lost so much value that it is an inflationary kind of...
Manar, what do you think my claim was?
That the old money has less inflation, or the inflation never risen more than...
Okay, my claim was that in like 2020, today inflation, the rate at which prices are increasing month to month is about like 2 to 3%. Back in 1980, the rate at which prices were increasing was more like 10%. So my claim is that the rate at which prices are increasing now is less than it was in 1980. Localist has previously disagreed that the statement that like the job market is better today than it was in 1930, or that inflation is better today than it was in the 1980s, doesn't have any truth value at all. So I was trying to get him to concede on that.
Not only that, Localist thinks we should adjust for inflation twice. Like, he doesn't know.
He also does think that. So.
No, maybe he just misunderstood and he didn't expand on the claim.
No, he's just dumb. Nope. He didn't misunderstand anything. He's just dumb.
Inflation is higher in his perception because of the loss of value.
He's very stupid.
Twisting it into an origami puzzle here.
Localist, you're not dumber than an origami plant.
Exactly, I'm not dumber than an origami.
He might be dumber than you, Manar. Like, it's hard, but...
Well, no one in the universe is dumber than you.
I got money right now. I know more than you about like any economic topic than...
Oh, man,
you're so smart that you're dumb.
Listen to me, man. Good for you, man. But hey, can I say one thing?
Wait, Manar, how is GDP calculated?
I don't know why, man.
Wait, what's the 4 components of GDP, Manar? Localist, what's the 4 components of GDP?
When you walk, I imagine it.
Thank you for the bits, Bubby. I appreciate it very much. Yes, the shekels.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, thank you. I appreciate it a lot, Bubby. Thank you. Helping out during the Twitch apocalypse. I appreciate it.
Manar, what's the equation for GDP?
I'm doing your homework, buddy. Okay.
Manar.
We'll accept
what
the
are
half a penny that you sent us, the dollar.
Manar, what's the equation for GDP?
The
What's the
inflation for
formula?
the who? GDP?
What's
The equation for
formula?
GDP.
What's the formula for inflation? What for GDP? I'm sorry, you confused me.
What's
the
up
formula
with the
for
inflation for the GDP? So I know the GDP.
What's the formula for
What's
GDP?
the formula? How
What
is it? What are the
wait,
four
wait,
components?
Manar,
Okay,
Manar.
okay. The
What does
formula
GDP
is
stand
it
for?
is
What does
it
GDP
is it the
stand for?
is it the cost of goods minus?
No.
Oh, is it? Okay, I know it is. I know it is. It's imports.
Manar,
It's
what does
imports
GDP
minus
stand for? What does GDP
Manar,
stand
what does GDP stand for?
It's total imports minus export. It's the general.
No,
domestic,
it's exports minus imports,
General
dumbass.
domestic.
It's the other way around, dumbass.
I got it close. I wasn't even looking this
No,
up. I swear,
Googled
man.
it. You probably Googled it.
And you still got it wrong. You only named one component, not four of
Let me
them.
open your screen. Let me see if you Googled it, actually. Let me open your screen. Give me a second.
Bro, I'm actually smoking a cigarette. I can't Google. I'm watching Nonfon here.
All right, okay.
I'm kind of mesmerized by the Minecraft video. I've been watching it.
Yeah,
for the past
sample
hour.
I did update it, by the way. You know that,
It's
right?
hypnotic, I agree.
I've been watching it for an hour, bro. I can't stop. I don't know what's wrong with me.
Yeah, I updated it too. It's different Minecraft
Yeah, it's
videos and it's a different
definitely
Subway
different.
Surfers video. So sample is sample. You no longer have it all memorized. It's brand new.
Oh, yeah, that's
Bro,
good. Yeah, I've
Shalom,
noticed.
Shalom.
That's-
Shalom.
Shalom,
Shut the
Shalom.
fuck up,
Shalom.
Shalom. What the fuck are you talking
أهلاً
about?
أهلاً وسهلاً يا حبيبي.
Hey,
No,
why-
Asian sample.
hey, that's Arabic. That's not Spanish or Jewish.
Shalom is that Spanish to you? Maybe to you. I don't know.
No, ahlan
Ew.
wa sahlan.
It used to be before the explosions, okay? It used to be Spanish. Ew.
Listen, man, you guys already stole our food. I'm not gonna let you steal our culture and our
What do you mean
language.
R? We got expelled from Spain. Well, that's what I was referencing.
Bro, you're not even a real Jew. You're like Ashkenazi.
No, I'm half Iraqi. I'm more
You're
Iraqi
like
than
R.F.
Ashkenazi.
Kennedy. He's not real.
I'm Iraqi. I'm
Oh,
more
you're
Iraqi than
Iraqi?
Ashkenazi.
Oh my God! You know these guys are actually Ashkenazi Jews, right?
Iraqis are everyone in Iraq.
Yeah, they're not real
Wait,
Jews.
wait,
They're like fake Jews.
Manar. Do you concede that like I know way more about economics than you, like on every single topic in economics?
Bro, there's no way about culture and history. I'm more informed than
That's
all
not what
of
he
you.
asked.
Okay, yeah, wait. We can test that. What can you tell me? What is the interest rate that the Federal Reserve controls? What's the name of it?
What does this have to do with culture and history?
Well, the history, the Federal Reserve is not economic history to you?
All right. Listen, the Federal Reserve. What's up with him?
What is the
For
name
real,
of the
what
interest
is
rate
up
they
with him?
control for lending to banks?
Are you talking about Jerome?
No, you okay? So, for example, like 2 months ago or something, Jerome Powell cut interest rates, right? When he cut interest rate, what's the name of the interest rate he cut? Right, that's the chief thing people are concerned about with the Fed. What's the name of that interest rate?
Well, he
Technically,
cut
there's
the-
two, but
It's FFR. The first F means federal. I'll give you a hint. What is it? What's the name of the rate?
he cut the federal financial rate. I don't know. What the fuck is this
bro.
kind of question? What is this question?
You
What
have
is this?
zero clue. Okay,
What are you trying to prove?
wait.
I'm a dumbass?
Okay, let's talk about
You
history
can't
then.
prove
Let's talk
that,
about
by the
economic
way.
history.
It's
Okay, wait. When was the period called stagflation?
No
in
one
the
will
United
believe
States?
you.
When did that
I'm a
happen?
dumbass.
Wait.
Wait,
When did the
Manar,
United States
wait, I'm
get
just
off the
super
gold
curious,
standard?
Manar.
Wait. When
What
did
is-
the United States get off the gold standard?
During Nixon,
When?
1984 or 1974.
No. What?
No.
What?
no.
Was it 1980 or 70, something like that?
No. It's idiot.
What does this have
Nixon
to
was
do
not
with
in
our
1984.
debate?
Nixon was not in 1984. Don't tell me you know about history and then tell me Nixon was in
I
1984.
know American
What?
history. I know about war history and culture and how the world was taken over and
Yeah,
like, all
Wait,
the
Manar, I'm just super
Clearly.
curious if
and
you
the history
remember
of the
this.
world before
Manar.
Sykes-Picot.
Manar, what is UN Resolution 181?
No, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do
I
that.
don't know
do that.
about.
Wait, you
That's
don't
like
know what
6
UN
months
Resolution
ago.
181
What's
is?
What's up, man? I know what
Are you-
resolution 181 is.
What is it?
Can you tell me two differences between the partition plan and resolution 181?
Ya Allah. The resolution 181. Well, so 247 and 181.
No, I'm asking for
No,
two differences between the partition plan and resolution 181.
So resolution 181 was the 67 lines, right?
I'm asking for two differences between resolution 181 and the partition plan. Can you give me that? Like, for example, I'll give you an example.
Yeah, like the partition plan was
Non-fun. One second.
Non-fun.
Non-fun. Can you
Yeah.
tell me two non-fun? Can you tell me two differences between Obamacare and healthcare and the ACA?
So those are actually the same thing, which just with different names.
For example, Obamacare is bad and the ACA is good, right?
Oh, well, actually, yeah, that is true. Obamacare is bad because it's communism and the ACA is good.
Dumb, bro. Yeah, hey, Sample, ever since you showed up, we lost all our viewership, man. You should leave again.
Awesome, bro.
Nice one.
Now, can you answer? Give me two differences between the partition plan and the resolution 101.
Okay. 181, remind me, was 247 or 181 the 67 lines? That's my only question.
No, it was 47.
242 is the 67 lines, by the way, not 247.
And then 181 was the partition. So the UN partition.
Don't tell me you know more about it. Wait. That alone proves that you don't know the history because you asked me what year was 181.
Yeah, but
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
No. All I wanted to ask was the difference between the 240. I thought it was 247. There's 242 and 181. I was getting them intertwined.
Well, then don't tell me you know about the history. Look.
Sample, you need to take a drink of water, bro.
If I tell Nonfon I'm an expert more than him about the Vietnam War, and he knows when it started and I don't, that shows I'm not, right? That like debunks
trivia. This is gay trivia.
Yeah,
True,
right.
It's not gay trivia. If the guy claims he knows more than me, he should know more than me.
He should be able to answer these
Okay,
basic questions.
localist. How would you test who knows more? How would you test that?
Shalom. I'm gonna get you, Shalom. I swear to God, you come to my chat.
Yeah, localist. Can you answer my question?
Shalom, Bobby. I'm gonna get you,
That's
bro.
trivia question.
Hey, the non-fun. Can you set me up with a meeting with Tom Foolery? I want to debate that guy.
I've never spoken to Tom Foolery. He's not on my friends list. I've never interacted with him.
One of your cutie guys. I know you've been debating a lot.
One of my who guys?
One of your cutie guys.
Cutie guys? Who are my cutie guys?
Yeah, one of those guys that got a lot of viewers that I can kind of like.
Who do I talk to that has a lot of viewers? I don't like. What?
Didn't you show up on some big debates recently?
Oh, Hippy Dippy. Well, you're never getting on Hippy Dippy because your brain is broken. But
no. Listen, I won't talk about Ukraine.
Well, that's not really the relevant part.
I'll only talk about Biden.
Also, Hippy Dippy is over. But yeah, I was on Hippy Dippy.
I'll only talk about Biden, bro.
Everyone watching Manar's chat should go watch me epically destroy older conservatives about tariffs on Hippy Dippy, and now they refuse to debate me about them.
Yeah, conservatives love talking about stuff they don't understand economically.
Wait, Manar, who pays a tariff? Manar, who pays a tariff?
Aren't you literally trying to ask for like racial and religious supremacy? Like you're literally supposedly a conservative.
Manar, who pays a tariff?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, let's talk about tariffs for a second.
Yeah, let's talk about tariffs. Who pays the tariff?
Are you all ready to be decimated? Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm absolutely ready, Manar. As soon as you answer this one question, who pays a tariff?
Let's establish that you will not overtalk people and we won't overtalk you. So everyone gets a minute to speak every time, right?
Manar's not going to listen to that. We'll try to.
Non-fun. Hey, Sample, I'll agree to that if you leave the chat.
Sure. Sure. I'll leave the chat. Wait. So just to be clear, I will leave the chat, and you will let Nonfon finish.
I want Isaac back.
Isaac is free to join whenever. I'm not in control of Isaac.
I will leave the chat. And you will let Nonfon finish the sentence.
No. I'm kidding. Stay.
Oh my god. Let me finish with the deal, retard.
Well, he said stay.
I'm gonna get you.
I will leave, and you will let Nonfon finish the sentences, right? Right? You're not doing takia, right?
No. I was reading a little bit of the scripture, but I'm back.
So let me finish.
I am back.
If you want to talk about tariffs, I will leave the chat. You will let Nonfon finish the sentences. Fair? Because it seems like you have to, like when you debate, you have to interrupt the other person and not let them talk. It just seems like that. Non-fun, are you there?
I am there. I'm waiting for Manar. Manar.
Okay,
said
I'm
he can
ready.
I don't know if he's
Any
gonna listen either
rules
way.
you guys want, I will accept. Please just let me
We
decimate
just said
the
that
floor.
just don't
with
speak
sample.
over us when we talk. Just don't.
I just want to
the rules are just not
decimate
over
and
talking each
embarrass
other.
sample. Can we get more followers?
So the
guys? Can we
rules
send
are
more
the
followers?
rules are like we're not over talking each other. That's the only rule.
Okay, so here's the thing. I agree.
Okay.
When I
great.
say you're
All
not
right.
going to over talk, it doesn't mean you're not even going to talk at all. You can talk now because, yeah, you
The
understand that.
problem
Well,
is
I want to answer my question. Who pays a tariff? I just want Manar to answer that first. See if.
No. First, he needs to
Who
agree
pays the
to not
price of
interrupt all the
output?
time. First, he needs to agree to that.
Okay, I will answer Nonfon because I already answered the other one.
Non-fun. You need to get him to not interrupt. You need to get him to not interrupt.
I mean, I am
that's the only
serving
way you
you
can debate people.
if I can.
Nonfon, here's the deal. When
Yeah.
you mention the word tariff, I kind of mentioned to you earlier, you were the one that I was speaking about, that there's a desensitization when it comes to
Okay, this does not answer my question at
these
all.
words. So if you say that whoever pays for it, let's say it's the American people. Let me play with you. Let me give you the whole argument. Yes,
Right.
the American people are going to pay for it, but to
Okay.
me, it just doesn't seem like the American people are interested and give a hoopty boopty about who's paying for what because they're desensitized from something like that. It seems like these American people are already so pissed off and have already been footing the bill on a lot of things they don't really care about, like the bombs in Gaza, the Ukrainian wars, the multiple atrocities that we've been committing all across, and it seems like nobody's standing up, nobody's doing anything about it. So the idea that everything non-fun, be serious with me, man. Be serious with me. You really think if I tell you the American people are the ones paying for the tariffs, that's it? It's going to stop the American people from paying? They
I'm not
don't give
interested
a
in what the American people think
man.
right now. I'm interested in what you think.
For example, all you have to prove to the American people is that these tariffs, even though they're going to cost them, is going to be helping them, and that's it. They're going to accept these tariffs because we've seen it with sanctions.
Okay, wait. Do we agree that the American people pay tariffs? Okay.
Shalom, I'm taking him to the backyard.
What the fuck are you? Do we agree the people in America pay tariffs? We agree on that point, right?
Okay, people in America will pay the tariffs. Sure, I'll agree with you on that.
Okay, thanks. Okay. So,
Can you agree with me? Can you agree with me that that's not necessarily negative?
Why are you fucking interrupting?
Oh my God.
Dumbass?
Who else pays for it?
Oh, he
Let
had
him
another
finish.
point.
Let
He had another
Non-fun
point.
finish.
Go ahead.
Why are you scared of what he has to say? Let him finish.
Man, I thought he
The
was
other
done.
country pays too.
Okay, well then let
No,
him
they
finish.
don't.
Then it will be clear when he's gone.
Yes,
When
they
he's
do.
done.
Wait,
Yeah.
localists, how do they pay it? They don't have dollars. What do you mean they pay it?
Because if you're exporting something and you're being taxed on the export, that makes it harder.
Wait, but they're
for
not
you
being
to
taxed.
sell the
They're not being
export.
taxed on the export.
They're not
Wait, are they
being
being
taxed.
taxed on the export? Wait, are
And
they
that's
being taxed on the
tariff.
export?
I mean, tariff.
My argument. No. Localist, don't dive into that argument. You don't need to. This is the argument. Does it even matter if I can prove? If you can prove?
Well, because a lot of people don't understand that, so I want to make sure we're on the same basis right now.
Don't interrupt, please. Let me just.
How about we let Non-fun finish?
Let me just
you
finish
guys
my
interrupted
point here. Let me
Non-fun
just
to
finish
just
my
ask you
point. Does it
retarded
really
things.
matter
Okay,
if you can prove? If you can prove that these sanctions, like for example, tariffs are going to be a net positive to the American people,
Okay, yeah,
doesn't
if you
matter
can
that it
prove
costs a
it
little bit.
wouldn't
We've
matter.
seen
Yeah,
it with
so-
sanctions. It didn't matter.
Benar, I don't
Awesome.
disagree with you.
So
If you could prove that's a net positive.
If you could prove it, it wouldn't matter. But the problem is, one, you don't let Non-fun talk. He said one thing and you interrupted him immediately. So that's the only way you can do debates. You're afraid of what Non-fun has to say, so you have to cut him off. That's
Sample
the first
text,
thing.
sample
The second
text.
thing is,
English or Spanish?
the second thing is, Trump, when he talks about tariffs, doesn't even acknowledge that there are taxes that the American importers pay. He says that China pays them. So he's either dumb or lying or both. These are the
How
two
does
problems.
China pay? They
China
export
doesn't
everything.
pay.
When you restrict their exports, they pay through not being able to export as
No,
much.
America cannot. The IRS
my God.
cannot tax. America cannot tax China. because they don't have authority over China. They can tax American businesses. If you open an economics textbook, and you see the definition of a tariff, it's an import tax. It's a tax on imports done by U.S. consumers or businesses. That's what it is.
But it makes their companies less competitive, which then hurts their economy.
Even if it hurts China, it's not a tax on China.
That has nothing to do with my claim right now, localist. Localist, that's not my claim.
For example, right? If I tax a company, all of their profits, the company will go bankrupt, and now consumers get fucked. The fact that consumers got fucked doesn't mean they pay the income tax of the company. The one paying the income tax of the company is the company. Other people could get fucked by a tariff or by a tax. It doesn't mean they pay the tax. Trump says that China is the one paying the tax. He says that U.S. dollars that come to the government revenue will come from China. That's either a lie or he doesn't know what he's talking about.
Manar, the reason I asked that is just because a lot of people don't understand that. A lot of people don't understand that, so I want to make sure we're like operating from the same like level of fact. So now that we agree on that, my question is going to be, what is your exact position on tariffs? Do you believe we should tariff literally everything coming over the border, or like the vast majority of things?
Let me give you an example. No, let me.
Wait, I don't want an example. I want your position.
No, yeah, I'm going to give you my position on how we should be using these tariffs. This is how I'll give you, and I'll give you a real life example so you guys can understand a little bit and relate to why I believe we should do this. I believe tariffs are going to be a very strong negotiating tool. I believe tariffs are going to get you exactly what you want and the prices you're looking for when it comes to manufacturing and supply chain. I believe that, for example, and I'll give you a real life example, Trump went recently to John Deere and wipe your face, Nonfon, you needed to wipe a little bit more. You're
just not answering my question.
You left the booger. But hey, he went recently on John Deere, and in front of them, like a man's man, reminded me of one of those gladiators.
Manar, I'm gonna ask the same question once you're done, by the way, but keep going.
Tariffs could be. He said. I heard that John Deere is gonna move to Mexico. So how about this? I'm going to introduce 100% tariffs to anything that John Deere wants to bring here from that Mexican plant if they think they're going to reduce costs, not under my dead body. Okay. Do I now sit there after what I saw from Donald Trump sitting there and doing that and talking to John Deere how they are and them allegedly changing the plans and not thinking about moving to Mexico anymore and keeping the plants in America? Am I going to sit here and say, no, tariffs is a bad thing, it's going to cost a lot? No, I'm going to say, holy shit, this is a net positive. Wait. This is helping the American people. And here's my real life example. Now you can relate to me. Okay, go ahead.
Manar, I promise I will go through that example with you. Okay, I promise I will go through that example with you. You did not answer my question. My question is, do you believe that we should be tariffing most/all imports that come over the border? That is my question. Like, what goods should we tariff? What percent? Like, what type of...
I believe tariffs should not be used as a tool broadly and generally for stuff. I believe they should only be used to negotiate. So, for example, if you want Tesla to be a competitor over the Chinese market and the Chinese for example, cars in America, then you would introduce tariffs, and they cost more, but they also are going to allow Tesla to be competitive. Go ahead.
So you would rather vote for someone who like does only tariffs on like EVs rather than like universal tariffs, right?
No, because this is a strawman position. This is a strawman position. Those are not the only two positions available, and that's not the reason.
We asked your position.
No. Let me answer my question. If you had a choice, economically speaking, just considering economic issues, between someone who wants a tariff on EVs and key national security interests, or someone who wants universal tariffs, which one would you rather vote for? Obviously, the EV guy, right?
No, man. Why would I actually want universal tariffs just like that? I want the
Listen to my question.
Oh my God.
Wait, Manar, can you repeat my question? What was the question?
No, there has to be a goal behind the tariffs. I'm not going to just want EV
Manar, what did he ask you?
Oh my God, Manar, you're not listening.
I don't just want EV tariffs. You're strawmanning the position.
I'm not trying to strawman you. I'm trying to get clear on your position. So if you had a choice between person A, let's call him person A. He says, I'm gonna do tariffs on EVs and specific things. And another guy is running on doing universal tariffs. You would rather vote for the first person rather than the second, right?
Okay, hypothetically speaking, if those are the only two positions that I'm listening to, yeah, sure.
Yeah. Okay. Now,
thanks.
would it be informative to you? Would it be interesting to you to know that Biden did do tariffs on EVs and very strategic tariffs on microchips and EVs, while Trump is running on universal tariffs?
Oh shit! But
Would it
you're
change your
arguing
mind at
against
all?
Nonfon's position.
I just think
I just think
No,
it's
no, but
interesting that you
Nonfon
don't
is
know
trying to
anything
prove
about
to
what's
his
proposed.
viewers. Nonfon is trying to prove to his viewers that tariffs are bad. Why are you arguing against this position?
do you think my position is tariffs are
I'm
always
not
bad?
arguing against this position.
I
I'm
believe
saying
your
I
position is
think
anything
Biden's
Trump
tariffs were bad.
introduces-
I don't like Biden's tariffs. I'm just saying under your system, Biden is preferable economically to Trump.
Because
Under
for
your
some
system.
reason, I believe you guys believe it's bad. Because for some reason, the only indicator you guys care about is the cost to the American people. As if
Answer my question.
as if
Oh
there's
my
no
God.
other indicators
No,
that
I
should
also
be
think
followed.
I also think now you're strawmanning
I
me.
hate you.
Now you're strawmanning me. I think we should care about both prices and jobs and growth and wages and or export industry and imports. I think all of them matter. You know what the
Y'all
problem
are
is?
gonna really let Nonfon go through this without a donation?
Without a doubt. Tariffs
true.
reduce all of them. Tariffs reduce productivity, they reduce growth, they
Real
reduce
driver.
wages, they reduce exports, they reduce
Driver.
imports, and they reduce jobs.
Driver, don't
They
let me
reduce
drive
all
you
of
into
them.
the puddle, man.
This guy can. That's why you don't let people finish. That's the only way you can do debates. You don't let people finish.
Bro, Sample, you talk for an hour and a half and it literally has nothing to do with what we're talking about. This is your problem.
But
You
are
don't
you
know how to
constantly
debate.
like
He gave a
dodge
good
questions and
reason
ramble on?
Why the EV tariff, which is
No,
to
no,
make
we can all agree. Hey,
Localist,
loyalist
we
is a
can go
localist.
over that in a second.
Localist is a loyalist. He's gonna tell you the truth. No one can actually disagree with it. I'm a gangster.
I'm on your side.
I actually defeated everyone in this debate.
Localist is for the most part on your side, Manar. You're going to disagree on some things, but...
Driver, don't let me drive you up the hill.
Okay,
man.
Manar.
And down the hill.
We don't agree with universal tariffs. Can we go... Okay, so we got that, okay? I just want to go over this two things real quick to make sure, like, what our... make clear what our positions are, make sure we all understand what a tariff is, and then make sure we understand each other's positions. So we don't think that universal tariffs are good. Let's go back to the John Deere example. Would you say that... consumers have been hurt more than producers have gained in that example?
Give him a question to understand. Give him a question he can understand.
I mean, I don't know if he heard it at all.
What do you want? What do you want?
I think he's malfunctioning.
Do you think that do you think that consumers are hurt more in terms of like the higher prices they have to pay than producers are protected from the tariff?
Then the producers
Tiki, I'll let you troll Manar in a little
tariffs.
Yeah, so
seems like it doesn't seem like there's going to be a big difference. Seems like both parties are going to get affected negatively.
Well, no. The producer benefits, or like I'm sorry.
Yeah, the producers benefit.
People who
We
have
agree.
The job in the United States benefit, but the consumers now need to pay a higher price than they would have.
No. The producer doesn't necessarily benefit. It's just another. It's just an addition.
If the producer doesn't benefit, then why are you doing the tariff? Do you agree that John Deere is helped by a tariff?
No. But the idea is there's an addition to the cost, and then how? Okay, well, how does it actually? Well, your question is, how does it increase the price on goods? It's because there's an.
It's not my question.
And then.
That was not his question. Why do you keep evading?
You guys are supposed to not interrupt. And then how is it supposed to reduce why is tariffs increasing costs? Because it actually there's an increased cost and it's sent off to the consumer. That's the whole idea behind tariffs increasing the cost. So the idea now that you guys are claiming that it's not going to increase the cost on the producer is kind of fucking insane.
No, we never claimed that. No one.
The whole claim behind tariffs is going to increase the production cost, which increases the cost of the goods because it's going to be because the producer is just sending off the cost to the consumer.
Wait, Manar. We just want an answer to our question. We don't need you to ramble on about. We're asking, do you think consumers are hurt more than producers gain? Is our question.
More Sam Harris, please.
I love Sam Harris. Okay, because
promise me to read more, man. You need a little bit more education. But anyways, go ahead. Man, not another fucking Minecraft video. Goddamn, calm down.
I need to play Minecraft because I'm bored by your incessant rambling that does not answer my questions. So, do we agree that like consumers are hurt by the higher prices of tariffs? is one way they're hurt. But yeah.
Not more than
You
consumers
hurt
gain.
consumers by the high price of tariff.
Consumers lose.
Not more,
with
more,
tariff.
not
Do you
more than
agree? Do you
consumers,
agree
not more
that
than
sanctions
producers
increase the price of
whatever.
goods?
That's.
Inflation
I
is
mean,
an
they
increase
can.
in
Yeah.
costs.
Whoa, wait. But why was this the policy that the Biden administration?
Wait, that's a complete
introduced?
pivot. That's a complete pivot. That's a complete pivot. Do we agree that consumers have to pay higher prices from tariffs?
It's reasonable. It's identical. It's equivalent. It's basically the same. Why? I didn't see you yelling and shouting. What I saw, you were actually
I
defending
did.
this policy.
So let me explain to you. I didn't like the tariffs that Biden did. He let some of the Trump tariffs. Oh, he left.
Oh, why'd he go? Why is he talking to that fucking guy? Oh, I can move him. The guy that Tiki Tax
maybe
said he
he's
wants to
good, I
troll
don't know.
Manar, so I don't. Oh, what the
yeah, I don't
fuck?
know. So look. I mean, Manar. Okay, Manar. Don't interrupt. So don't interrupt. Oh, the way it works is this. Okay, right? So Biden did some tariffs. I thought it was not a good idea. I don't like the tariffs on EVs. Under your system, you should like him more than the universal tariffs that Trump wants to do. But he wants to do less tariffs than Trump wants to do. And he even let some of the tariffs that Trump did expire. He let some of them go away. He didn't implement them again. So I think the position that Biden holds, while not ideal, is preferable to the position Trump wants, which is universal tariffs. He wants to replace the income tax with tariffs. That's a horrible idea that will cause a recession within 4 years. It would be a horrible thing.
Yeah. Well. How about this? How about I respond to you with this? What if there was an increase in spending and an increase in cost, but at the same time, manufacturing is returned to America? There's a subsidization of this cost through income taxes or a reduction in income taxes or maybe tax credits. The American people are happy now because now industry is back and jobs are stronger and there's more wages and stronger wages, and life can get back to being amazing again in America. How about that?
A powerhouse of the world. I get it. So if it was something tariffs would be able to do,
Bro, I
would
want to get
support it.
out of here.
The problem
Nonfon.
is, I don't know why you fucking interrupt.
Oh my God,
brain
Manar,
dead
bro.
retard. Let me finish. So I think if that's what tariffs would have done, it would be good. The problem is they don't do that. Tariffs reduce literally everything you mentioned.
The sanctions
Tariffs don't. Oh my God, non-fun. This isn't possible. So look, I think tariffs. I think tariffs reduce jobs. I think tariffs reduce wages. They increase costs. They reduce growth. They reduce productivity. Right? They literally don't help in any dimension that you mentioned. They literally don't help.
Populist, I ripped them apart.
You didn't let
everyone apart. You evaded every question you've been asked, and you didn't let anyone finish.
Localists, they are donezo, bro. I don't know how they're looking at their viewers.
No one can watch this and think we're donezo. No one can. To be clear, no one can think. No one can watch this. A guy who didn't know what GDP was and think we're losing.
Well, I have to say, for all the economists in this room, you're lacking a lot of money. So I don't know how good all this is doing for you.
Yeah, listen, the Twitch ad Populist hitting me hard. That's why we need the bits.
So, Manar, are you Muslim?
Wow, bro, where the fuck do you bring these people from, bro? Holy shit, this guy's worse than Sample. This guy's worse than fucking Sample. This is hilarious. This is insane.
Everyone's.
Y'all are fucking crazy.
Okay, quit playing.
Why do you start like that? Who cares? Why do you care? Why the fuck do you care?
Because I have some really fun things and fun.
What does this have to do with the whole debate that we've been having?
We're not okay. We don't need to do the trolling right now. Okay.
This is insanity.
I have another topic for you then.
Well, I want to drill down on this.
No, Nonfon, you'll never be able to catch me. You'll never be able to catch me, Nonfon.
Okay, great. Okay, so we agree that consumers have to pay higher prices because of tariffs, right? Thank you so much, Shalom Bubby. I appreciate it. Thank you. Okay, we agree on that point. All right, great. Do we agree that John Deere, in this example, would benefit from the tariff because they are shielded from foreign competition?
Oh, really? Oh, really? Why would they then feel so threatened and try to announce that they might not actually keep those plans?
Wait. This is my point. I'm saying that John Deere benefits from the tariff, just like you're saying John Deere benefits.
Oh, so they want more. So they want the 100% tariff. So they want.
They produce in America. It protects the producer from foreign competition.
Let me explain. Can I goddamn? Can I get an actual word out? So what they do is they say that, hey, we're gonna build a plant in Mexico so Trump can introduce the tariff in a fucking historical way, never been done before, where in a meeting where he's sitting in front of the CEO, he tells them we're gonna do a tariff. And so they do that on purpose so that can happen to them. Nice on you to build that sort so quickly. And then after he does that, I'm supposed to sit here and say that, oh, John Deere did that all calculatively on purpose. They actually were planning to gain these tariffs on purpose, and this was all a plot from John Deere to make more money. Are
Manar, what I'm saying is that the tariff incentivizes. Wait, Manar, you don't understand my point. Manar, we agree here. Manar, I agree. The tariff incentivizes John Deere to produce here. That's what I'm saying when I say they gain, right? They're protected from foreign competition.
Yeah, but your implication here is that John Deere. Your implication here is that John Deere likes these tariffs. That's your implication.
John Deere would like some tariffs. They might not like universal tariffs because it would increase the price of everything they input, but tariffs would protect John Deere from foreign competition, depending on exactly. Like tariffs on tractors would protect them from foreign competition. They would probably like it. They can charge higher prices now because they don't have to compete against people in China making tractors or people in Mexico making tractors.
Okay, you're right from one angle, but from the other angle, now they cannot actually ship off their extra work overseas to try to reduce their costs. So
they're only doing it to make stuff cheaper.
It's gonna balance out. So that's why tariffs are not like sanctions. They're actually a lot better than sanctions. Sanctions,
I don't care about sanctions right now.
To both parties. No, the problem is you guys supported sanctions like shit against Russia. And you, in the detriment of the American people. Let me finish. To the detriment of the American people, and you argued for it. And now you're gonna sit here and try to claim that you care about the American people's quality of life and that you care about their spending and how much money they're gonna increase in their.
Okay, you understand Trump wants to do sanctions on Iran, right? You understand Iran is 15% of oil exports, and he wants to do a sanction on Iran, right? So that's like.
Let me take you to the backyard.
Shut up. So that's the first thing. Second thing, we're not talking about like foreign policy or what. We're talking about economic policy. Tariffs as an economic policy don't make sense. And even if you wanted to protect jobs, there are better policies you can implement, like a subsidy, like a tax credit, right?
Hezby, we're talking about tariffs right now.
Because it literally hurts everything we care about economically. It hurts the jobs. It increases prices. It reduces wages. It reduces growth. It reduces productivity, and it reduces exports as well. It is literally bared out by any analysis of tariffs.
What did he just say that was wrong?
Everything.
Everything? Tariffs would increase productivity? Tariffs increase productivity. That's your position.
Why does outsourcing
answer that. No, shut the fuck up. Do tariffs increase productivity?
Why is outsourcing?
He's not going to answer. He's afraid.
He's not going to answer. Do tariffs increase productivity?
Yes.
It's neutral.
No.
It's neutral.
wait, Manar. What's the, and be very brief about this because it is a very brief answer. What is the formula for productivity? What is the formula for productivity?
Productivity is
time.
It's material cost minus time or labor cost minus.
Just say I don't know. You can just say I don't know. You know, I would respect that. I would respect that more than like not knowing and like guessing.
But listen, man. The last time I guessed something, bro, I won big.
Did you?
Well,
you did not.
Time. Not this time, though.
Bro, I fucking hate talking to y'all. Listen, Nonfon.
Yeah, you hate losing. I hate losing too. But I'm enjoying this conversation. You don't like. That's like how you know one is losing. That's how you know one guy is losing.
I'm pretty sure Bobby has perms to join if he really wants to. So.
I want to get Shalom next time.
But that's not really. Can you tell us the equation for productivity or like?
I've eaten samples face off. Already.
You're the only one who said like, oh, I really don't like this, right? Because you're losing.
Someone
Give me Shalom. That's what I really want.
I mean, he's here, but like, I don't want to get sidetracked from the tariff conversation. I'm just like curious
that guy
why.
needs to donate a little bit more. That guy's.
Maybe I will.
If you want to chat with me live, sub here or go to Nonfon420 on Twitch or Kick via the links below. Once again, please like and sub to help with the algorithm, and consider sending a donation through YouTube Super Thanks to directly support me, and I'll make sure to reply to any question you ask. See you guys next time.